Nick Suck.
Sports Radio 560 WQAM Miami Fort Lauderdale presents The Neil Rogers Show. To talk to Neil, call 567-0560, toll free for David Broward, or pound 560 on your cell phone. The opinions of Neil, his guests, callers, or anyone else on the show do not necessarily reflect those of WQAM, Beasley Reed Acquisition, or the Beasley Broadcast Group. Now, Neil Rogers on Sports Radio 560 QAM.
The sky is falling.
Oh! OJ got away with murdering his woman and a white and Jewish friend.
All right.
Now we hear him say he's thinking about moving to Miami where he thinks he'll blend in.
Boy!
Go back! Go back! Go back to hell where you belong. Go back! Go back! Go back to hell where you belong. Go back, OJ.
We can go to the next program, Super Talk Radio.
Yeah, get off the air, you murdering asshole!
What'd you say to me, you whack? I killed your ass. I've been stabbing your white ass. It wouldn't be the first time I got away with it.
Go back! Go back! Go back to hell where you belong. Go back! Go back! Go back, you murdering asshole.
I'd like to thank everybody for welcoming me to that neighborhood.
Yes, it's 10:03 at 560 WQAM. Yeah. So anyway, what are you getting all paranoid about? It sounded like me. Yeah, it was. So anyway, I do have HBO. How do you like that? It was a crappy show last night, but I do have HBO. And thank God. Thank you, Dallas, for scoring that last goal in time for me to turn over and see generally that whole hour on HBO. I feel like such a moron, you know, not only just because I'm here today, but because I call up my satellite entertainment, my programming provider yesterday, and say, I'd like to subscribe to HBO, and I give her my phone number, and she looks it up. You already have HBO. You just paid for another year of all your stuff, which includes HBO and Cinemax, you moron, you jackass, you idiot. And I said, thank you. Well, you know, when you don't watch that stuff for a long time and you pay like with a package, you don't know what you got until you lose it. So there it was last night on HBO. I'm sure we had a few people in this audience watch that thing with juror number 5. Oh, before we get to that, and thank you, Tom Jicker, for putting that article in yesterday, even though it was a very marginal article. Otherwise, I never would have known that thing was on last night. It was weak. It was really weak. Very poorly produced. Wouldn't you think HBO, with all our resources, could do a little bit better than that? Huh?
Uh-huh.
Yeah, I would think so. I mean, out of the whole hour, and it ends like 10 minutes before 11. So it's like a 50-minute piece. And of the 50 minutes, I would say about 20 minutes of it were this juror number 5. She was sitting there like, with her hand on her head and her head on her hand and like thinking, and what am I going to say next? There was really nothing very graphic. She did say the F word in there a couple of times and the SH, big deal. And that's it. But anyway, speaking of Tom Jicker, he writes this morning, WINZ decides OJ Simpson doesn't fit plans for new show. How do you like that?
Oh, my God.
The O.J. Simpson trial balloon floated by WINZ Radio has crashed and burned like Cato Kalin's show business career, says Tom. Last week, WINZ offered Simpson, who's rumored to be considering a relocation to South Florida, $1,000 a day to host his own program on Stupid Talk. Reaction was swift and hostile, including within WINZ's own building, even though Simpson never responded. As a result, WINZ has withdrawn the proposal.
Oh!
Although we heard from many who supported the idea, the overwhelming reaction from listeners, concerned citizens, and even some of our coworkers has been decidedly negative. Pete Bolger, that backstabbing asshole, Stupid Talk operations manager, said in a statement released by the station. We want to be good neighbors, he said. So therefore, we're withdrawing the offer effective immediately. They want to be good neighbors. They're good neighbors to us because they offer us absolutely, positively no competition. That's the best kind of neighbor to have on a radio dial, is somebody that offers you competition. None. Zero. Zippity-doo-dah. That refuses to put anything on the air, at least after 10 in the morning, that anybody might listen to. Nice going, Pete. And another big bomb. Even the Japs never saw a bomb like this one, okay? The trial balloon, like Tom Jicka says, it crashed and burned like Cato's showbiz career. Went over like a pregnant pole vaulter on a hot day on the 4th of July. And what did I tell you? And, of course, they stole the idea from me talking about the fact that
Roy
wanted us to hire that piece of murdering crap here on the station. And so, naturally, they picked up on it. And the one, that babbling idiot in the afternoon, the babbling Brooke, oh, yeah, she's going to do the show from the lawn of this neighbor if he buys the house there in Gables. Yeah. You're desperate over there. You're desperate. You're struggling. You're so freaking desperate that it's unbelievable. It's unconscionable. And so they stuck their finger out the window, and it got chopped off. That's right. It got sliced right off. And the finger, too. Felt like a finger. So anybody see the HBO thing last night?
No.
Huh? Sure you did. I mean, if I'm going to waste 50 minutes of my life watching that piece of turd. I mean, they showed her drawings that she made while she was sitting there with the jury. And, of course, this was juror number 5 from the civil trial, which I don't think they made very clear in all of the hype for this thing, you know. But, he slit her effing throat and nearly cut her effing head off is basically what she said. And when they showed them the graphic pictures, the crime scene photos, the knife wound to the neck not only cut the voice box, the whatever.
Larynx.
Well, you don't want to say larynx. It sounds like an animal in the zoo, okay? The animal lovers will get upset.
Trachea.
Cut her trachea, but it all went all the way back to within just milliseconds of the spinal cord. So in other words, she said her head looked like a Pez, the top of a Pez dispenser. It was just like flopping back, almost chopped right off, almost a severed head. Which would have been interesting. Maybe OJ could have put Nicole's severed head on the mantle, like guys do, hunters do. People that love shooting living things like deer. And they love putting the head on the mantle so they can show everybody how macho they are, what real men they are, that went out there and shot Bambi in the goddamn woods, defenseless effing Bambi. Like that bitch that called here that one day a couple of weeks ago, remember? Who loves to hunt and was bragging about the fact that, oh, yeah, she likes to shoot deer too. You know what? I would love to see a deer just out of nowhere, all of a sudden pull a piece out and blow her crap away, you know what? Just when she least expected it. Wouldn't you love to see that? At least in a cartoon. Here the deer comes up with his own, just blows her crap right away. So guess what, OJ? The message is go away. We don't want you here. No radio. Forget about radio stations. I read a piece over the weekend about some company. I forget. I don't remember the name of the company. But at any rate, he's been wearing these golf hats when he goes out playing his golf with his bad arthritic knees, with the name, some company name on the cap. And every time they show another photo of OJ out there with that cap on, the company gets all these phone calls and the hysteria from the public. Are you endorsing him? Are you, And they say, please wear somebody else's cap. Don't even wear our cap. So not only will they not get a job, not only will nobody let him move into their neighborhood, but, if he should wear like a T-shirt that said, God forbid, Calvin Klein or Tommy Hilfiger. Of course, we know the kind of people that wear Tommy Hilfiger, don't we? Huh?
Uh-huh.
Except for the coloreds, they wear it because they think that it's in. They don't realize it's don't tell them. It's a thing, okay? 9 minutes after 10 at 560 WQAM. You want some?
All right.
Oh!
I was depressed and feeling lonely until I found me a religious faith. At the show, how much I need her. I had to quote the Bible like a preacher. I'll get religious if she'll have sex with me.
Ew, God!
Like a phony, holy born again. Born again girls are brainless wonders, recovering from abuse or heavy drugs. So there you go, tell her that you like her, even though you're a liar and a liar. Then you're gonna spend some time in between her legs, just like a phony, holy born again. If you wanna get your hand in her pie, Just say you talk to Jesus Tuesday. I guarantee you that you're gonna get laid. Pray like you really believe. Oh, right now I'm getting faded. Having all the sex I'm never gonna do. You ought to go to born again revival. You find a girl and start hanging on her Bible. I go away to gently, very easily. Oh, it's like a pony, holy born again. Made like a pony, holy born again. Made like a pony, holy born again. Made like a pony.
Well, maybe they're searching for the Lord in there, you know? Maybe they're thinking, oh, God, that's good in there. It's 10:14 at 560 WQAM. So thanks to my close personal friend John in Lake Worth for faxing me this story, which was in the Palm Beach Post on Saturday, but being in Vegas, of course, I didn't see it. Nor if I would have been here, I wouldn't have seen it anyway, unless it was in the local papers. This story, I'm going to tell you something. Let me back up a second. This morning, I'm watching channel surfing, and I guess it was the CBS morning show, which gets worse by the minute, by the way. They got that bitch with the glasses on there who can't do the news to save her life. I have no idea what her name is, but this woman is lost. She obviously knows that thing's getting canceled anyway, and they're going from the frying pan into the fire and putting that Brian Gumball on there, which means they're really going to lose big. But at any rate, she's fumbling around for the news, and they go to a story again about this Cassie Bernal, was that her name? The girl that got shot, the one that said, he says, do you believe in God? And she said, yes. And he said, okay, go find him now. Maybe you'll, here's another one for you. The martyr. And they were interviewing, I'm going to tell you something, seriously, I don't care what you believe, it's a free country to a point, although it is, of course, a police state, but they have a young black girl on there, and I shouldn't have said that, but I mean, she just happened to be black. It's not relevant that she was. Excuse me for even saying that. They had a young Schwarza on there, about 13 years old, 14, and they're talking about this Cassie and how everybody, what a hero she is now, and she says, these were her, I wrote it down because I was so aghast, I was so shocked, I wrote it down. She says, oh yes, she took the bullet for Christ. Has there ever in the history of the human effing race been anything uttered, even by Elsie the Borden cow, that was more ridiculous than on the face of it? Just the words, and then they put it on television. Because like Tammy Faye keeps trying to tell you, they're crazy. The media is sick. These people are crazier than a bunch of bed bugs. They're a bunch of grave robbers.
I thought they shot her with a shotgun.
Now, isn't that going to be the next one, by the way? After we have Choose Life, next year, the license plate that Jeb Bush is going to put out, it's going to say, take a bullet for Christ. Yeah. And we'll make you a martyr. Maybe you can be a hero. Like that thing we got. Maybe you can be famous someday. Yeah. Buy a bunch of handguns. You'll be famous. She took the bullet for Christ.
But they shot her with a shotgun.
Yeah. Well, they're still bullets, a different kind of bullet.
Shot. She took a shot for Christ.
No, it's still a bullet. A bullet is a bullet. Not all bullets look the same. What's wrong with you, man?
But they're not bullets. It's shotgun shot.
It doesn't. You're full of shot, okay? It's still a bullet.
I didn't know she was shooting, or they were shooting at Jesus for her to take a bullet for him.
I didn't know they shot her in the palm of the hand. In fact, they'd have done. I mean, that's grotesque, to say it would have been a lot better if they would have shot her in the palm of the hand, but they didn't. They murdered her dead. And they even had some Protestant, thank God for some of the more rational Protestants on there this morning, a minister on that story saying, this focus is all wrong. The focus should be on the loss here that, a nice young girl was murdered, not on the hype. This is all a bunch of hype. He actually said that. A man of the cloth said, thank God for you, sir. Oh! That they're all getting sucked into the hype. And then they showed the thing with all these, this extension now of the story that the media just loves this crap so they can suck up to all the God bull crap, all the religious nutcases. And they showed these kids, and these are evangelicals, by the way. These are the charismatics, whatever the hell they call them. No, we're not talking about the horse, okay? Oh, by the way, what day is Dave Johnson calling? He's not?
Well, I'm sure he will.
The Belmonts, probably tomorrow. But at any rate, these aren't just your regular religious kids. See, this goes back to something I said the other day, last week. in referring to some of our nutcase professional callers out there, and you ask yourself, what kind of people were they when they were younger? So like the older religious fanatics, what were they when they were younger? They're young religious fanatics because they've been brainwashed and programmed, and so, they start with them young, just like the Catholic Church. Like Father knows best. He likes them young, real young. They're evangelicals. They're rolling, and they're doing their thing. Crazy people is what we're talking about. So anyway, here's this story that John from Lake Worth faxed me, right in line with this crap about she took a bullet for Christ. What kind of a person, number one, says something like that? And number two, what kind of people in the media, I don't want to mention CBS, but I will anyway, what kind of imbeciles put something like that on the air? She took a bullet for Christ. Just stop and think of all the ramifications of that statement. The idea being that she died this horrible, violent death for Jesus. It ties right in with all the God bullcrap, the sadistic God that puts everybody through all this punishment. Like the plane crash, by the way, it was an MD-80, the crash landing in Little Rock this morning. Did you see that story? An American Airlines MD-80, I mentioned that in passing, from DFW to Little Rock. And there were deaths. We don't know how many yet, but there were deaths. In fact, here's the plane. Oh, geez, look at that. There's the wreckage right now. Oh, boy, bad. An MD-80, bad. I know, got a good safety record. I don't like those planes. Don't like MD-80s at all. But at any rate, so there were some people died and a whole bunch of people got injured. And they interviewed one lady on there, black lady. Okay, so here's a good one. She was very nice, and she talked about the fact that she was buckled in and couldn't get out of the seat, but then the plane split and they were able to get out. And then they interviewed this elderly couple on there who escaped unscathed, who thought for sure. Oh, and one guy, one rednecky-looking guy who must have been on the way home to Little Rock. Porky-looking redneck guy. He says, I thought the Lord was going to take me. I was sure the Lord was going to take me. But then after, all of a sudden we sat there for a while, nothing happened. I figured maybe he was going to give me some more time, the Lord. And this elderly couple that survived and walked away unscathed from this plane accident, we thank God. And they said, well, what are you going to do now? Oh, pray a lot. We're going to pray a lot. How about the people that didn't make it? Are they going to thank God? Are they going to,
No.
I guess they can't. Maybe they took it up the
rectum
for Jesus. Is that what it was? Huh? Maybe they died for Christ. This whole religious thing, it's an S&M thing. And those of us who want to participate, we're on the M side, unfortunately. We're taking it. So here's this fax. A graduation crowd prays. Teen who objected walks out. This is so typical of America, man, of the intolerant religious nuts that we have in this country. You people make me puke. It says when the 18-year-old returned for his diploma, police barred him and threatened him with arrest. Talk about a fascist state. It started with a loud, clear voice, a man's voice, and it spread quickly through the hall, picking up the tenors of teenage boys, whispers of young girls, and throaty voices of grandmothers, with each word it grew more determined. Our Father who art in heaven, it goes on. The defiant group, thousands strong, ignored a school ban on prayer and insisted that God be part of a Calvert County, Maryland high school graduation ceremony last Wednesday. A student who had successfully appealed for a moment of silence rather than formal prayer walked out in protest. When he tried to return to the ceremony to collect his diploma, he was detained in a squad car and threatened with arrest by state police. Are you listening to this? School officials saying they feared he might disrupt the school-sponsored cruise around Baltimore Harbor barred him from the graduation party for which he'd already bought a ticket. This is a church-going community, and no one in Annapolis or Washington, D.C. is going to tell us when and where we can pray, said County Commission President Linda Kelly, who joined in the recitation of the Lord's Prayer. The school administrators did the legal thing and complied with the law, but the audience took this one over. The American Civil Liberties Union of Maryland said Thursday that an emotional majority trampled over the lone teenage boy and the Constitution. A student was arrested because he disagreed with the majority, and he tried to address that in a responsible way, said Suzanne Smith of the ACLU, adding that she considered the fact that police detained Nick Becker, 18, equivalent to arrest. Prayer had been part of graduation ceremonies at Northern High School for several years, apparently without objection. This year, Julie Shank, 17, planned to deliver an invocation at the commencement until Becker, her classmate, objected. He said that prayer didn't belong in a public ceremony. As a compromise, Shank agreed to change her prayer to a time for reflection that did not mention God. When she asked for 30 seconds of silence, the audience of about 4,000 rose and began the Lord's Prayer. Don't respect those people with a brain, those people who want to think for themselves. Don't respect anybody who doesn't go along with the masses, who are hypnotized and crazier than a bedbug. Don't respect anybody's rights in this goddamn country if they don't want to suck along and be as stupid as some of the rest of you. Just trample right over them, baby, because it's the American effing way. And like I've told you before, that's one of the biggest things wrong with this country, is that religious fanaticism here is alive and well. More so than in almost any country I've ever been in. I mean, we're murdering each other left and right. Oh! Yeah, we got rampant shootings and violence and hostility. I mean, you name it. More than any of those other countries that I can think of. And yet religion here is just, it's like those fires in the Everglades, just spreading and spreading. It's just rampant, and the country gets more and more violent and more aberrant and more out of control. Just like all these church-going kids that we keep reading about, all these kids that were, raised with a religious bullcrap and dragged off to church every Sunday. And they're the ones that are doing the shooting, by the way, for the most part. But this is the ultimate. Maybe he would have been better off to take a bullet for Christ. Huh? Something to think about, Nick. Take a bullet for Christ. Just stop and think about those words, boys and girls. Stop and think about what kind of a bunch of crazy people we got here. And like the minister said, and thank the Lord for him. They're getting sucked into the hype and not looking at the real thing here. The loss, the senseless, mindless loss, the killing, the murder. And it's always, the Lord, thank God for what? For kind of like sitting around worrying about who's going to win the ball game? While decent people are getting slaughtered? I mean, if that's the way you want to live your lives, better you than me. That's what I say for you, okay? If that's the kind of crap that you want to invest your energy and your brain in, more power to you, but just leave me out, okay? She took a bullet for Christ. Maybe Nicole and Ron took a slice for Christ, huh? Maybe that's what that OJ thing was all about. Crazy people. That's what it is. Crazy, fanatical people, obsessed with this mass hypnosis of bullcrap. Because they don't want to take responsibility for their own actions. She took a frickin' bullet for Christ. I just wanted to take a goddamn shotgun myself and blow out that TV screen right there. Just put it out. 1026 at 560 WQAM.
Shannon, Faulkner.
I used to get sad. Now I'm just mad. I never give a kidney to my deadbeat dad. I can't believe that I'm a dead ringer for the guy I met on Jerry Springer. Well, you're a creep, the king of slobs. Thanks to you, Mom had to work 3 jobs. You left home when I was 3. You may have laid Mom, but you really screwed me. Mr. Brady, he was my hero, 'cause my dad added up to be a 0. Come on now. I used to get sad, but now I'm just mad. I'll never give a kidney to my deadbeat dad. Guys stop by, well, now and then. Sleep with Mom, then we never see him again. At Christmas time, instead of cheer, you brought us a floozy and a 6-pack full of beer. Can't go to college, I miss my prom. My father figure was my mom. Now I'm grown, my life's a wreck, 'cause the only time you met, you bounced the check. I used to get sad, well now I'm just mad. I'll never give a kidney to my deadbeat dad.
No.
I'll never give a kidney to my deadbeat dad.
No.
I'll never give a kidney to my deadbeat dad.
All right.
10:32 at 560 WQM. This audience is on fire, baby. We got 2 calls there on the board. Nothing moves these bastards. You know, when are you going to learn your lesson? Are you ever going to learn?
No.
5670560, pound 560 on the mobile 1 line. We got Hank from New York again at 2. Maybe some of that show will stay on the air. You know, it's amazing to me. Every day when I'm driving home, I hear that same thing. I hear Hank for like 1 segment, and then we hear that long, after the commercial break, long musical thing, and the music goes on and on and on and on and on, and then all of a sudden Corey comes on. And we lost the line again, you know. I spent a little bit of time yesterday figuring this out. Hank actually is on the air on this station an hour and 45 minutes a week. You know what I'm talking about? Which I don't begrudge him anything. He's paid his dues, you know, and he's doing a great job. But an hour and 45 minutes a week, when you take away the downtime and the Corey fill-in time and everybody else who's filling in, because we keep losing the line. We just can't keep the thing on the air. But we're getting the spots on. Oh! That's all we care about. I'm not saying I care about the other. I don't want you to think that I'm relapsing, because I'm not. We got that very well under control. 5670560, pound 560 on the mobile 1 line. We're waiting. Here's a mobile in Pembroke Pines. Hello.
Hi, Neil. I just want to talk to you about the girl who said that she took the bullet for Christ.
Uh-huh.
I'm kind of interpreting it a little bit different than the way you are. The way I see it is, I mean, no matter what the situation was, no matter what the circumstances were, her faith in God was so much that, you know, she was willing to say that she did believe in God. She wasn't afraid to say it. That's the only way I see it. I don't see it as...
What do you mean she wasn't afraid to say it? Well, what did that accomplish? She took a bullet for Christ as though by taking the bullet there was something positive about it?
No,
as though to justify it?
No, it's not. It's not the way you're saying it. All she's meaning is that she was not afraid to say that she was a Christian.
She didn't know that he didn't say, if you say yes, I'm going to blow your brains out.
But he didn't know that. He came in there with guns and everything. You know he's not a Christian. You know he doesn't believe in God.
He sure as hell was a Christian. What are you talking about? What are you talking? Then next you're going to tell me that the Nazis weren't Christians. Sir, go read a book, okay? Go get a brain. Go get you a brain somewhere.
So you don't understand, because
next thing he's going to tell me Pope Pius didn't sign the Concordat with Adolf Hitler, okay, and that they weren't Christians.
I'm sure that's Jewish propaganda.
Yeah, right. Man, you see, you people can rationalize anything. Like the minister said, not some atheist, but the minister said this morning, stop getting sucked up into the hype, okay? Some young girl in the prime of her, not even yet in the prime of her life, gets blown away and like, oh, well, her faith was so strong. She wasn't ready to get blown away. He asked her a question. She had no idea what the hell was going to happen. Man, oh man, I mean, you talk about self-hypnosis. There's no way to get through when your brain has been taken out of that cavity there. What's the point of trying to reach it when it's just not there anymore? God, that's not what she meant. What a statement. In the very first call, right out of the box, we got a rationalizer there like it made a lot of sense. Like I'm misinterpreting what she took a bullet for Christ. That's what religion's all about? Here's Miami Beach. Hello.
Hello.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, Neil?
Yes, I am.
Neil, I don't know if you've noticed that the state of Florida thinks everybody in Florida is an idiot, and they might be right. The new Powerball thing, you got to guess 4 numbers out of 32. And then 1 number out of 32.
Sir, what are you talking about?
That the odds on that new Powerball are worse than
go bet on something else, okay? Go bet on Russian roulette. I go through a half an hour of this stuff, and he's talking about the people in Florida being stupid. You're right on target, pal. Oh! Go look in the mirror, okay, before you slit your wrist. Go take a look in the mirror. Powerball. And by the way, we can't have casino gambling here because it's evil and it'll make you lose your lunch money. Thank God that when the lottery got way up there to $66 million a couple of weeks ago, that nobody was gambling their lunch money away on that. And I'm all for the lotteries. I'm all for whatever you want to do for freedom. But what a bunch of hypocrisy this bull crap is. And is that money going where we're supposed to go? No. 5670560, pound 560 on the mobile 1 line. This guy's worried about Powerball, okay? We got kids blowing each other's brains out. This guy's worried about freaking Powerball. And by the way, the market's in the crapper again today. All you people out there that are worried about money, like me, get with it. Get your priorities straightened out. There's more important things in the world than money. I haven't figured out yet what it is, but here's a lady mobile in Hollywood. Hello.
Hello.
Yes, ma'am.
Hi, Neil. How are you?
Okay.
About this bit with religion. I used to live on Miami Beach. And,
Boy!
Yes, I had,
Did you have a mezuzah on your door?
No, I didn't. Neighbors. And they had a boy who was the same age as my son.
Yeah.
I happened to be Jewish, but not Orthodox. And my son wanted to play desperately with this kid, and they continually shunned him. And I finally asked the next-door neighbor why, and she said because we weren't religious enough for them. And I said, they're kids. You know, they're 6 years old. They don't know anything about religion. Let them have a good time together.
Oh, no.
Absolutely not.
No.
About a month later, I was standing in my yard, in my house, gardening. I had on shorts and a sleeveless top. And the streetwalker came by and started telling me that I had no business being outside dressed so indecently. So I did the only thing a rational person could do.
Yeah.
I grabbed a broom and chased this guy down the street and beat the crap out of him.
All right. Great.
And proceeded to sell my house and tried to move where there were more normal people.
Good for you.
And on an unrelated note,
yes.
there's a great restaurant for you in Rome.
Okay.
It's called Da Apuleius.
Da Antileus?
Apuleius. It's absolutely fantastic, and nobody knows about it.
Well, what part of it? Where is it?
It's near the Forum.
Oh. Okay.
Give it a try the next time you go.
Okay.
I love your shows. Great talking to you.
Grazie mille.
Bye.
Arrivederci. Okay, 567-0560, pound 560 on the mobile one line. She took the bullet for Christ, okay? Like that story we had last week or the week before about the Orthodox Jews throwing bricks and stones and bottles at the less Orthodox over at the Wailing Wall because the less Orthodox had the audacity, the men and the women were praying together, and they were going, oi, oi, oi. See, it's not one religion. They're all crazy. It's all bullcrap. It's just, you know, some are a little more malignant than the others, a little more dangerous. But nevertheless, you got a brain there between your ears. It's the only thing that separates you from the lizards and the amoebas out there, for Christ's sakes. When are you going to start to use it? A brain. A thing that actually works, that can reason. Oh, no, we can't die. We're not like those other lower forms of life. I mean, we have life after death where there must be some meaning. Why are we here? You're here for the same reason that the ants and the cockroaches are here, okay? Except we're more dangerous because we're bigger than they are. And they can't pollute the air like we can and destroy the environment like we're doing a great job of. But I hope you have a wonderful time in heaven. Isn't that what Chris Atkins said in that movie? There's nothing like a night in... Something about Merv Griffin's house, I think is what he said. 20 before 11 at 560 WQAM. I'll tell you what, and another area where the Lord has screwed up, and that's your drinking water. You open up your tap, you have the best of intentions, you're paying a water bill every month, and the stuff that comes out of there, it's loaded with crap. That's right. Bacteria and all kinds of cancer-causing agents and chlorine, all kinds of mung in that drinking water. If you want to do something that makes sense about it, call a Culligan man.
That the Lord even loves Neil Rogers.
Oh, the white folks hate the black folks, and the black folks hate the white folks.
Yes.
To hate all but the right folks is an old established rule, but during National Brotherhood Week, National Brotherhood Week, Lena Horne and Sheriff Clark are dancing cheek to cheek. It's fun to eulogize the people you despise, as long as you don't let them in your school. Oh, the poor folks hate the rich folks, and the rich folks hate the poor folks. All of my folks hate all of your folks. It's American as apple pie. But during National Brotherhood Week, National Brotherhood Week, New Yorkers love the Puerto Ricans 'cause it's very chic. Step up and shake the hand of someone you can't stand. You can tolerate him if you try. Oh, the Protestants hate the Catholics, and the Catholics hate the Protestants, and the Hindus hate the Muslims, and everybody hates the Jews. But during National Brotherhood Week, National Brotherhood Week, National Everyone Smile at one another hood week. Be nice to people who are inferior to you. It's only for a week, so have no fear. Be grateful that it doesn't last all year.
1046 is 560 WQAM. Yeah, and all these people that get sucked into the religion thing. See, there are certain groups, I don't want to mention no names, there are certain groups of people, like that first caller we had this morning, get sucked into religion as a substitute for equality, as a substitute for quality of life, as a substitute for a whole lot of things. You're supposed to grab out of this phony bullcrap. It's like throwing you a bone and hoping maybe you'll stick it through your nose or something, you know. 567-0560, pound 560 on the mobile one line. Here's a mobile in Hollywood. Hello.
Neil.
Yes, sir.
First of all, that second caller of the day you had, the guy about the Powerball.
The Powerball guy, yeah.
He started out his opening thing by saying Florida's full of idiots.
Right.
Well, what is he?
That's what I said. He could go look in the mirror, right?
Right. We're sitting there talking about all this other stuff, and he brings that up.
Mm-hmm.
As far as the girl taking the bullet for God.
For Christ, yes.
For Christ. Whatever answer she answered was the wrong answer. Because no one really knows what this guy was thinking that shot her. So if he asked her, do you believe in God? And she said yes, well, he shot her for that.
Mm-hmm.
If she would have said no, he probably would have shot her for that. I mean, how can anyone say she took the bullet for God? I mean, we don't know what was going on with this guy's head. There's no right answer to the question.
Forget about him. What kind of a statement is that to make it as if there's something glamorous and glorious and wonderful about, standing up for some fairy tale so much that somebody blows your brains out? That's basically what she's saying.
Exactly. I mean,
you're talking crazy people, sir.
It's just it was a ridiculous statement.
And they put it on national TV. They put it on network national TV, CBS. No wonder that eye keeps crying bigger and bigger tears.
That's the media and Rick Sanchez and everybody else. I mean, they just, that's what they feel they got to do. Let the girl rest in peace. Let her family mourn. Leave everybody alone. I mean, I care about what happened. I mean, I'm bothered by it, and I feel for the families and feel for the people that were affected, but leave it alone already. I mean, all they do, every time these people turn on the TVs or turn on the radio or open the newspaper, it's day in and day out. They're constantly reminded of it.
The whole country is so off base on this stuff, they're not even coming close. And yesterday, Bubba starting with this bullcrap about, we have to start clamping down on these video games. This hasn't got anything to do with it. They got the same video games all over the world, and rational people that are brought up with any kind of values at all, they don't go around blowing each other away because they watch violent video games or movies. Nobody wants to touch the reality of the fact that this is a disturbed society of people that don't know right from wrong.
Well, it all goes back to, and you've said it before, people need to start in the homes, and the parents are dropping the ball. I mean, that's where it's starting from. I mean, it's not video games. It's not.
They're dropping the Powerball, sir. That's what they're dropping, the Powerball.
Exactly.
Have a great life.
Good one, Neil.
Okay. Yeah, that Powerball, you have one, all these compulsive gamblers out there. You make me sick to my stomach. You're all going to turn out like Lester Greenshirt at Calder, walking around with bad breath. 567-0560, pound 560 on the mobile one line. Here's Fort Lauderdale. Hello.
Hi, Neil. How you doing?
Yes, sir. Go okay?
Listen, I want to talk to you about this God thing. Listen, I'm disabled, I have two bad legs, right? So, I ask these religious people, I say, well, gee, what's the deal with this? They said, oh, well, God did this to you for a test.
Yeah, everything's a test. I thought once you got out of school, the tests were over with already.
I'm disabled. I work two jobs. I own a house. I'm a pretty good guy. I try to treat everybody right.
Right.
So what's left? What test do I got to pass? It just doesn't make no sense. And then when I go to heaven, though, I'm going to have two good legs.
That's right. And then you can get on your knees and pray to God. See, you don't even need good legs in heaven because you'll be on your knees praying to God all the time, telling him how great he is.
It's just crazy. I don't know. All right. Well, I just wanted to bring that thought across, and you have a good day.
And you too. Hang in there.
All right.
Oh, yeah, he works in mysterious ways, and he's always testing us and seeing if we really will kill our brother and if we really will kill this one. And murder, violence, and mayhem. That's what all these religions are all about. Murder. And then, by the way, somebody that wants to do something just very peaceful in Hollywood, they come down on them. The city let the Hindu family build a trellis in front of their home in Hollywood, but the Homeowners Association opposes the trellis, and now they're dragging their ass into court and trying to make them take it down. Here's a picture of the home. Looks fine to me, okay? Not a goddamn problem at all. The trellis outside the home of Nagesh and Naga Reddy was begun with a city permit that was later revoked. And there's a whole big song and a dance here with the city of Hollywood. These are the same assholes in the city of Hollywood, by the way, that Mayor Goulanti there had a nervous breakdown about the Life is a Beach T-shirts a few years ago over on the Hollywood beach. Bunch of blue-nosed assholes over there in Hollywood. And I'm looking at this thing, and, unless somebody puts an eyesore out there, and believe me, this trellis is not an eyesore, and neither is a satellite dish either, by the way. Everybody's sticking their nose into everybody else's. Everybody trying to do as much damage as they can. Inflict. That's the American way. Inflict. How can I annoy you? How can I damage your life? How can I create a lot of chaos and stress and sores for you? Instead of being like civilized and a little bit compassionate for each other. Let's get some good lawyers in here and sue our neighbor because they got something that we don't like. I think they're jealous of the trellis. 5670560. I don't hear any Hindus running around trying to impose their religion on Americans. Do you? You hear any?
No.
No.
Nice people.
But but if they start, we'll deport their ass. Here's Hollywood. Hello.
Hey, Neil.
Yes, sir.
Hey, I don't know if anybody's mentioned this before, but I think I read in the Time magazine that this girl who had said she believed in God had just been reborn again, and before that she was like into witchcraft and Satanism. And the whole time she was in witchcraft and Satanism, nobody seemed to bother her then.
Yeah.
And she gets reborn, and boom!
And she had to take a bullet for Christ.
Yeah, I mean, it's kind of a weird thing. I don't think anybody brought that up, but I noticed that in the magazine article right after the whole thing happened.
Well, it's a good point for witchcraft, then, isn't it?
Right. They made her like the whole martyr thing, the whole symbol of the Columbine thing, because she turned to God, and then God let her down.
Well, God just wasn't there. He was busy at work. He was in the locker room with some football team somewhere.
Oh, by the way, I'm glad I came on after National Brotherhood Day. I love that song.
Okay. And have a great life.
Bye.
God bless you. Go kiss your neighbor. 5670560, pound 560 on the Mobile One line. Several open lines here today. Nobody cares about the OJ thing. I'm going to tell you, I have no patience for any of that anymore either. No patience. You want to apologize for OJ or try to cover up for it or make it into a racial thing, be my guest, but not on this show. Don't waste my time. We suffered through years of that crap. And this woman, by the way, last night, she was like half and half. She's like mulatto. She's like part black, part. She's got a little, and a bad neck, by the way, bad complexion. Looked like Kathy Willett's neck. But nevertheless, it was unanimous. It took them only 45 minutes to come to the verdict, and they said, yeah, he done it. Guilty as hell. Murdering son of a bitch. And to think that we got
Roy
trying to get him in here. See, some people don't know when they got it well off. You know what I'm saying? Some people don't know how lucky they are to be having a job, a job as a professional face man. 5670560, pound 560 on the Mobile One line. Here's Miami. Hello.
Hello, Neil.
Yes, sir.
I got to tell you that the Hindus are at war with the Sikhs and
I know that, but they're not doing it here, though.
Right.
They're not bothering anybody here.
It's a human thing, the Tutsis hate the Hutus.
The Tutsi, yeah, bye Tutsi, right?
There you go. But
did you ever see a Tutsi roll, by the way?
Yeah, they do roll.
Uh-huh.
I got to tell you though that it is precisely that lack of faith. It is that lack of set of values and the belief that is lacking, that is causing a great deal of all these problems that you see.
Uh-huh.
So it is precisely what the opposite of what you spew every day.
No,
it may be at the core of all of this.
You're absolutely wrong.
Why?
Well, faith in what? Faith in what are you talking about? A lack of faith that does what? There's more religion in this country than any country I can think of. And how about Northern Ireland, where there's all the religion with the Protestants and the Catholics? Is it their lack of faith that's causing them to kill each other?
What you see a lot of around in this world, in case it hasn't dawned on you yet, it is hypocrisy. Anybody who truly believes in God, anybody who truly follows.
And who are the true believers, sir? Who are they? Will the true believers really please stand up?
Well, there are plenty of them, but they're not going to make the news. They don't sell newspapers. The people that follow in Christ's footsteps, the people that do what they're supposed to do, that doesn't sell newspaper. That doesn't make it into the radio or the headlines.
Yeah.
The scandal is what causes the headlines, not the people who truly believe.
Yeah.
And I tell you,
sure, let me tell you this. I know this may come as a great shock to you because you're full of crap. When I tell you do no harm, you can't refute that because you don't need to believe in any fairy tales and any supernatural invisible being. You don't need to believe in fairies and goblins and elves and angels and all this other crap. All you have to do is believe in that very simple philosophy and do no harm. And it doesn't require any indoctrination in any religious sect to believe that.
Unfortunately,
it's just common sense. Sure, it's just common sense and common decency.
Unfortunately, that simple attitude that you try to spew every day, unfortunately, it doesn't work. you got to have a lot more than
works
just those
for me.
three-letter
Works
words.
for me. I haven't killed anybody
and
lately.
by the
Have you,
way,
sir?
having a microphone and a radio station and having a dump button on your side doesn't make you right. It just makes you another asshole with a talk show.
That you're listening to every day.
Oh, yeah. But
okay, thank you. 1056, thanks for listening to 560 WQM, where it's 1056.
WQAM, Miami, Fort Lauderdale.
All right now, everybody gather around. The Gandhi man's here. What kind of protest do you want? Sit-in, lobbying, anything you want, as long as it's non-violent. You've come to the right man, because I'm the Gandhi man. Who can organize a boycott?
Organize a boycott.
Turn the other cheek.
Turn the other cheek.
We're not afraid of trouble. Go to prison for a week. The Gandhi man.
The Gandhi man.
Oh, the Gandhi man can.
Oh, the Gandhi man can.
The Gandhi man can, cause he mixes it with love and makes the system look bad. Who can spot an unjust law? Well, even what's the trees? Who can make his own clothes, not afraid to cause a scene? The Gandhi man.
The Gandhi man.
Oh, the Gandhi man can.
Oh, the Gandhi man can.
Oh, the Gandhi man can, cause he mixes it with love and makes the system look bad. The Gandhi man consents that he represents Muslims, Hindus, Sikhs, and Asians, all the other religious persuasions, but a very few Caucasians. Who can really take a beating? Who can really take a punch? That person who can pass without a dinner or a breakfast or a lunch? The Gandhi man.
The Gandhi man.
Oh, the Gandhi man.
Oh, the Gandhi man.
The Gandhi man can, cause he mixes it with love and makes the system look bad.
Makes the system look bad.
Yes, the Gandhi man can, cause he mixes it with love and makes the system look bad.
Oh, the Gandhi man can.
Oh, I'm the all-time king of passive resistance. You'd better do what I say.
All right.
I swear I will starve myself to death.
1103 at 560 WQM. You know, this last bozo that calls, all these people, all they do is they repeat. Like I said before, what is it that's in your brain? Is it something that you put there, that you evolved, into the thinking, or that somebody else placed there, just babbling a bunch of mindless rhetoric? You have to have faith. I was just telling George during the break, the Islamic terrorists have faith, the suicide bombers, that's the greatest act that they can commit. That if they do these things, that's the ticket to heaven, baby. That they have faith in that. Faith in what? Faith in some Bubamicey and some ridiculous, twisted, fractured fairy tale that nobody with a brain, with a functioning brain, could possibly believe? You have to have humanity. You have to have compassion. You have to have decency. You don't learn that by believing in fairy tales or by letting your priest molest your children. That's not how you learn compassion and humanity. Or by letting a bunch of guys running around in dresses tell you how to live your life. Coral Springs, hello.
Hello, Neil.
Yes, sir.
That last caller, I don't know what to tell you, man. Tell that guy to blow it out his ass. It's another brainwashed schmuck.
Rectum.
That's never had an original thought in his life.
Yeah.
Well, have you heard about this self-righteous bitch in Orlando that's suing Virgin Atlantic?
No.
For the Austin Powers promotion they're doing, they have a billboard that says "Fly Shag Atlantic."
Right, I've seen it.
And she says that shag is a colloquial euphemism for sex. So she's suing them for running this promotion.
Suing them for what?
Because they use the word shag.
But what is she suing them for? What is it doing to her? Is it changing her life?
Yeah, it's changing her life. She wants them to take down the billboard.
Well, if they shag her, that's what I say.
What are we supposed to do? Eliminate? We didn't have enough words. Now we got to get rid of trim.
Right.
We can't go to the barber for a trim.
Right.
Trim shops.
And whatever you do, don't replace that ball cock in your toilet. Good luck, pal.
What about Star 69?
See you. Oh, gee, you're done. See you in court. I love Virgin Atlantic, by the way. They're great. And they fly real planes like 747s, not those puddle jumpers I don't want to mention, which they're having this long, another one of these deals where they lie and they lie and they lie through their teeth, you know. American Airlines are having a big press conference on CNN right now.
We have total.
Yeah. Total bullcrap. 567-0560, pound 560 on the AT&T wireless line. This would be bad taste to talk about those Barfster bags today. It would be in bad taste. But here's a mobile in Miami. Hello.
Top of the afternoon to you, Neil.
Good evening.
And good morning to you. About the American Airlines airline crash, I was watching this thing on Good Morning America.
Yeah.
And Diane Sawyer happened to be there. And first of all, she's interviewing a 13-year-old survivor.
Mm-hmm.
The girl's legs were burned. She had a couple of bruises and bumps.
Mm-hmm.
And she's giving a description of what she had heard and what she had seen. And she said, well, the plane broke up. Diane Sawyer right away, how many pieces?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Now, the girl's trying to tell her that her and her sister, her younger sister, were going to Grandma's house from Dallas, Texas to Arkansas. So she's trying to take care of her little sister and find out how the little girl's doing. And all Diane Sawyer kept pumping was, how many pieces did this wreckage?
Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah. Well, that's what the media does best. They exploit. It's just like the pitcher with Tampa. I don't remember what his name was about 10 days ago that broke his arm, you know.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
They must have shown that 75,000 times, and then they used it as an excuse to re-show Dave Dravecki when his arm basically fell off, and the other three guys who had the same thing, and they're showing them over and over again. It's inexcusable, I'm telling you. Instead of worrying about video games, the people involved in every goddamn part of television, these people are lunatics, and all they do is exploit human misery and desensitize the American public to all these grotesque things.
It gets better, too, because they went to a local television station on a feed, and she's talking to the guy that does the morning show there, and he said the plane broke up, and she had...
How many pieces?
Yeah, and that was the question, and then when he couldn't say how many exactly, she had this perplexed look on her face. So now she says, well, I spoke with a spokesman from American Airlines early this morning. They had it on videotape, so let's see what he said. And she asked him again, I heard the plane hit a pole. How many pieces did it break into? I thought that I had respect for some journalists.
No, she's not a journalist. She's just another TV whore. That's all she is.
Yeah. By the way, I'm from Pittsburgh. I was up there about 3 months ago for the Penguins playoffs, and I spoke to your buddy Mike Lang, who I've known for about 8 to 10 years.
Yeah.
And he said to say a very warm-hearted hello to you.
And back to him. He's
that's
great.
all I have to say.
Okay, thanks.
All right.
Okay, Michael Motorcycle, 567-0560, pound 560 on the AT&T wireless line. It's 11:08 at QAM. You have to have faith, baby, in some bull crap, in some horse crap that somebody else makes up and tells you. You have to have faith in that. And then take a bullet for Christ. And then when you're through with that, go kill some Protestants for Christ or Catholics, depending, or throw some bricks at the less Orthodox Jews. Big, corrupt, bankrupt business for feeble-minded people who are too weak and too stupid to think for themselves. And the sad part of it is that there are a lot of people out there who aren't really that stupid. Now, there are different kinds of stupidity, who actually have a brain. But that's one part of their lives. They don't have enough emotional strength to, think for themselves. So because the asses are masses, and most people believe in some fairy tales, I guess we should too, just to be on the safe side. Those are my favorite people who say, don't you want to, pretend you believe this just in case, just so you're covered?
Let's pick one.
Isn't that what they say, like in an ambush? I got you covered. Oh, too late. Okay, let me pick one. Oh, geez, here's one. Oh, it's still a bloody one from Vegas.
What's that religion where you can have lots of sex with a whole bunch of different people?
What is it called?
That's a gay club, you moron.
9 minutes after 11 at 560 WQAM.
Why are you airing shit like this?
Wow, they're really comfortable. I'm not so sure yet. I like the way they make my butt look. And yours, too. Thanks.
Yay, jeans.
Mine are still in the closet. I take mine out dancing. Mine come off in a flash.
Yay, jeans. In tight, really tight, and be my bitch tonight sizes.
Naughty.
Make it your choice tonight.
It's 11:13 at 560 WQAM. Never got an answer yesterday about our identical twins question about Doug and Jeff Popovich. Jeff, what are you of them Hurricanes? They're all too embarrassed about that. Well, you should have seen the reaction in the sports department when I showed them that Abercrombie and Bitch catalog. Wow. Oh, my God. They put it like Dracula did. To the Wolfbane, put his cape up in the air like that. Yeah, a couple of the sports guys put their capes up in the air. Here's Coral Springs. Hello.
How about suing the Republican Party next time they try to use the word Bush?
Yeah.
The sexual connotation.
Mm-hmm.
Neil?
Too much Bush is, a little Bush is okay, but too much Bush.
Yeah.
We're ODing on Bush.
Anyway, the joke is on OJ, I guess, because juror number 5 is Greek-Italian.
Is that what she is?
Yes, she wasn't black at all.
Oh.
However, I was Mr. Bolger, I read in the paper today. With
I already got that, sir. Already had it. Have a great day. Anybody else out there see that thing last night on HBO? See, this always happens. People call and tell me to watch something, and then I finally do get sucked into watching it, which turned out to be a gigantic waste of 50 minutes. It was very weak. And then I get no calls on it, except from this guy who wants to rehash everything I already talked about in the beginning of the show. 5670560, pound 560 on the AT&T line. How come you put the mobile in Fort Lauderdale 500 down the list? Hello?
Hello, Neil.
Yes, I am.
How you doing, buddy?
Okay.
You know, I was,
Oh, I thought that was that lady. She's gone. Go ahead.
Hello?
Yes, sir.
Did you, have you been watching any of the political shows on some of the Republican candidates? Have you seen,
Political affairs?
No, not affairs, just,
like the one Henry Hyde had with the wife of that guy up in Weston? That affair?
Henry Hyde, hello?
Yeah, I'm here.
He's the hypocrite. The one that was Colin Clinton, he's the one that had his own affair and had his own kid out of wedlock or something, right?
Out of wedlock. Out of Matlock, yeah. And?
Well, anyways, did you see what Jeb Bush...
Yeah. 5670560, pound 560 on the AT&T wireless line. They're out there, man. I'm telling you. They're out there. They're on the loose. Who says the monkey jungle's not doing a good job? Here's a mobile in Pembroke Pines. Hello.
Hello.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, I was just wanting to call you and let you know it was the first time I ever listened to your show. I got caught into a office that had it on, and I just want to say 94.9, Paul and Ron, they got you beat. They walk all over you. Just suck.
Yeah.
Have a good day.
Okay, thanks so much. Just suck, Paul and Ron. Are they on it this time?
No.
No. He just here's a guy, and I want you to stop and think about this, okay? Like we're supposed to believe this. He just walked into a guy's office, had this show on, and he took the time out of his busy life to tell me that Paul and Ron. Is he talking about Paul Castronova? Is that what he's talking about on Zeta, who rips off all my material? You better hope that I stay on the air a long time, sir, because if I don't, your buddy Paul and Ron will both be off the air because he won't have no material to steal anymore. And by the way, you know, when you have an omelet for breakfast every morning, it gets a little stale after a while. And he don't look that good anymore anyway. 5670560, pound 560. We got 400 open lines now. They already ran out of material on this. That's the greatest part. You people are tremendous, man. You're unbelievable. Don't complain about the material in this town because, quite frankly, there isn't any. Paul and Ron on 94.9, they got it all over you. I think they got it all over themselves. You can almost smell it. Here's Fort Lauderdale. Hello.
Hi, good morning.
Yes, sir.
First of all, I want to thank you for playing those Tom Lehrer records. I really love them. But I wanted to tell you the great quote of Gertrude Stein, who was an atheist, about religion.
Yeah.
She said, there is no answer, there ain't going to be no answer, and that's the answer.
Uh-huh.
And I always thought that was a very, very great quote to describe the way it is, with all this nonsense that goes on.
Yeah.
And every war that's going on in the world is a religious war right now.
Mm-hmm.
Think about that.
Yeah.
And what a wonderful God we have.
That's right. Thank God that he's letting all that crap going on in Serbia with the Serbs and the Kosovars, and that's going on in Northern Ireland for the past 50 million years,
and
the Arabs and the Jews, and every part of the world, the Hindus and the Sikhs, like somebody said before.
And in Pakistan, India, it's the Muslims.
That's what I just said,
Hindus,
yes.
Yeah, right. And then in Timor, it's going on.
Yeah.
It's the Christians in
Timor,
Sudan
Fulani,
against
right.
Muslims, and it's the Shiites versus the Sunni
They're all
Muslims.
full of Shiites, sir. Just don't forget it.
Yeah, right.
Okay, God bless you.
Lots of
Okay,
fun.
say hi to Gertrude. Yeah, lots of fun. She took a bullet for Christ. Lots of fun. Oh, you just misinterpreted it. You take it the wrong way. No, she took it the wrong way. In her body. Because Christ and God and Mary and all these other mythical things, they weren't there to protect her. Pathetic. And the way that people rationalize and manipulate this, no matter what happens, you're never going to convince these people. You talk about See, they're always talking about deprogramming kids that are in cults, you know. The cults, or what are called cults in this country, those people are pikers compared to the mainstream religions. Because once they indoctrinate and brainwash you from the minute that you're born, you haven't got a prayer, pardon the expression. 567-0560, pound 560 on the AT&T wireless line. Here's Sunrise. Hello.
Yes, good morning, Nancy.
Yes, sir.
That gentleman football player that was in that catalog.
Jeff Popowich, yes?
Right, he's from Arizona. I think he played high school ball there.
Right.
First of all. Second of all, to the lignas that are listening to the show that have no idea what they're talking about, I worked for the Catholic newspaper in Phoenix. And being the only Yid working there, I was able
Oy!
Thank you very much. I was able to see the inner workings. No one wants to discuss the fact that they have the audacity to tell people that they're not pedophiles when there are lawsuits all over the world,
right?
Tens of millions of dollars.
Mm-hmm.
And
how about this Bishop Simons from West Palm Beach that they just sent back up there to Michigan or Wisconsin, wherever the hell it was, to be doing some more hanky-panky up there? How do you like that?
Well, that's the same story. The gentleman from the diocese in Phoenix, the guy that came here in 81, the woman got kicked out of the parish. He gets a job here. She can't go to any of the parishes in Phoenix, which is probably a blessing for her.
Mm-hmm.
He has a gig here doing the same stuff, running the same old tune. So for those that are these dying Catholics to understand, you people have lost it. I mean,
there's no fact in the church.
Yes, exactly right. The other thing I wanted to bring up to you, the OJ Simpson case was so quickly turned around because I was living in Los Angeles in '92. This is just a payback. There's a payback to the white people for what happened in Simi Valley. Exactly right. And
yeah.
That's all it is.
Right.
All it should be taken for.
Uh-huh.
And having been a basketball player in my former life, I was the minority. And even some of the brothers reluctantly would even say, yeah, it is probably a payback. And people just have to see things for what they are. This audience in South Florida is just dead from the neck up. And
You're telling me?
And all I can say is Gazai Gazan to you, my friend.
Okay, and happy Sukkot.
Bye-bye.
Okay. Yeah, you need a lot of luck when you're on here because, you find a smattering of people out there that got some kind of an IQ bigger than their damn thumbnail. That's right. But they're far and few between. And when you see this aberrant driving going on, this morning again I nearly got wiped out, making the turn off onto Ivesbury Road from the Turnpike Road there by PP Park, which is a horrendous intersection, by the way, which there ought to be a light there, but of course there's not. And I'm making my left turn, and I'm doing the right thing because traffic is clear going whatever way that is, west. And I make my left turn, and some jackass in a black T-Bird with dark-tinted windows all of a sudden decides he or it or she or whatever it is going to make a left. No blinker, no indication, no nothing. And I had to slam on my brake to protect myself from getting killed again by some lunatic out there. You can't complain about the driving in South Florida because there's virtually none of it. They're not driving. They're doing attempted murders out there. They ought to be in prison for what passes as driving in this town. Oh, see, there he goes complaining. I'm not complaining. I'm just telling you exactly the way it is, okay? I'm not making it up. It could be paradise here. This could be heaven. We could have casinos. We could have people that know how to drive. We could require people like, to take a real test for a license. We could have civil, we could get all the murderers and the arsonists and the pimps out of here. We're too busy with speed traps on Hiatus Road and Taft Street. That's what we're worried about. That's law enforcement here. And this guy that called yesterday that gets a ticket for, what do they call it? Encouraging, when he left his windows of his car open to go in and get a couple of stamps?
Inviting crime.
Inviting crime. Like we don't have enough real crime, so we have to give tickets for inviting crime because the guy left his window rolled down. Nice going, porkers. Here's a mobile in Miami. Hello.
Hey, Neil. How you doing?
Great.
Opened the paper this morning. I almost started throwing up. This Peter Bolger crap trying to get OJ on the station. How stupid can this man be?
Yeah.
I don't get it.
Okay, well, get this. It's called a dial tone. 567-0560, pound 560 on the AT&T wireless line. Here's Miami. Hello. Miami.
Hello?
Yes, sir?
How you doing, Neil?
Okay.
I want to know how can I get a copy of the Ava Gardner and Fitch catalog?
How can you get one?
Yeah, Yeah.
Probably by going to their store would be good. Oh, yeah, he probably wants to see that picture of Jeff, what's his, Popowich naked with his twin brother.
They have a store down here?
No. Well, I have to go to Caesar's Palace in Vegas. They got a store there. That's where John picked that thing up. And the magazine, too, the catalog. Summer catalog, Abercrombie and Bitch. Yeah, there's something for everybody in here. Even George was getting psychotic over this catalog yesterday. You have to go way in the back to find the young ladies with the bare hooters in there. Oh, and look, how did I miss this? And what's this guy doing to that nice dog, huh? Look at that.
I am. Oh, there's a guy on that picture, too.
Yeah, over on this side, mister. What is that?
It's a wet dog.
It looks wet to me, and the dog, too. Jesus Christ. Oh, there you go. There's all those...
yeah.
Yeah, you look up on top, I'll look down on the bottom there. There's something for everybody in here.
Don't they have a phone number to get the catalog?
How come we didn't get a lot of calls about Jeff Popowich, who's on number 38 on the University of Miami Hurricanes, huh? I mean, the fact that he's got an identical twin brother and is in is a male model in here swinging with his ass hanging out from the tree. What's wrong with that?
Just tell me what's your problem.
Exactly. I'll tell you, huh?
What's the number?
What's the number for what?
The catalog. People want to know.
Oh, they want to get the...
Like me.
Does it have a number in here?
There's like an order form in the middle of it. It's got to have like an 800.
Well, where the hell is the order form? I think you ripped it out. I don't have any order form in here anymore.
It's in there.
No, it is not. Where the hell's the order form, mister? I think
Towards
you yanked it out. Yeah, toward the back. Okay, I'm looking. I don't see any guy. Oh, look at that. Man. Woo! Boy, I sure missed a lot the first couple of times going through here. Jesus Christ.
That's some good bathroom reading.
Wow. Take a peek at that, huh? Woo! But anyway, see, this is my religion, okay? Can't stand people that look good, you know? I can't, they make me very, very upset. Why can't we all look like that, you know? Can't stand, oh, here it is. Here's a toll-free number, here you go. Ask and you shall receive from...
Oh, God!
The one guy you can depend on. 1-800-432-0888. You can order your Abercrombie and Fitch. You can order your merchandise, but of course I'm sure that's the same number. You can also order your catalog. 1-800-432-0888. And tell me you want the summer catalog, the one that's got the naked U of M football players in it, and a lot of other stuff too. Believe me when I tell you, a lot of other stuff. Of all varieties. Whatever you like, it's in there. 1126 at 560 WQAM. When you
free drugs. Tonight I have free drugs. Tool, hard on, take it. Tool, hard on, take it. Bust. The longest tool, the highest tool, the smaller tool. My fellow Americans, I stand before you tonight. Hard on, growing, hard on, expanding, hard on, rising. I reach out my tool to all of you, a rock solid hard on, free drugs. Tonight I have free drugs. Tool, hard on, take it. Tool, hard on, take it. And ask that we join together in saying to the American people, take it.
Okay. Well, I'm just leaping through this catalog again. So it's $12 for the Abercrombie and Bitch catalog? Big deal.
For 4 issues, or $6 for just one, or $7 for one, or something like that.
Oh, so what's the big deal with that? $12 for all four for a whole year?
I like free better.
I got news for you. You'll cough up the $12, okay? You get more crap for free than anybody I know, including myself.
No, not enough.
Yeah. How'd you like all that meat, by the way, from our good close friend that I gave you?
Oh, it was delicious.
Yeah, good.
All my friends enjoyed it.
Good. 567, and that car, how's that coming?
Oh, that's 567-0560,
pound 560 on the AT&T wireless line. Here's Coral Springs. Hello.
Yes, good morning, Al.
Yes, sir.
This business called religion absolutely drives me crazy. Just nuts. I guess I was technically born Jewish, but I am an atheist, and it's really the purest form of multi-level marketing at its finest.
Mm-hmm.
I can't even see how Amway could even compete.
Oh, no, they're not in the same league.
No, there's no way. I mean, Amway it's a very distant second. I mean, a perfect example is we have friends of ours. Their family live up in Baltimore. They're Orthodox Jews. They have 11 children.
Mm-hmm.
All
Orthodox Jews tend to multiply like rabbits.
Yeah,
I'm not really sure why that is.
And the Shifras and the I think, they're running out of names for these kids. On the 9th child, the doctor told her that she's probably going to hemorrhage and she needs to stop having children.
Mm-hmm.
She's had 2 more, and she's now pregnant with 11th, which is likely going to kill her.
Oh!
What's the real difference between that and a cult? And the difference between that and those guys out in California that offer themselves to, chase the hellbop comment. Just a little bit level of faith, just a slightly higher level. And then last point is I'll try to be open-minded for them and respect it. And I'll look at them as something different, but they'll look at me as something inferior. There's an arrogance about it, is what drives me nuts.
Orthodox Jews look at you as inferior?
Absolutely. Because I was technically
I can't think of anything more inferior than the old Orthodox Jews with the long beards and the payas and the heavy clothing. Especially now, it's 172 degrees in the shade, and they're schlepping around on Alton Road and Washington Avenue.
Absolutely. This woman is most likely going to die delivering this child. Is this rational?
Well, at least there won't be number 12 anyway.
And what about this morning? I guess God wanted that jet to crash and 16 people died.
Well, but the ones who believed in God, He saved them. That's why they're thanking God.
Oh, yeah. Well,
only the bad people died.
It was a good day for God. I guess 50 lived. So, at any rate, I'm out of material.
Zygazun.
Take care.
Okay, 600 open lines here. I'm going to tell you, speaking of how hot it is, I realize that this place operates everything on the cheap, and you don't really care about the comfort of the working conditions of the people who work for you. But I'm going to tell you something. I don't demand much of anything. We got second-rate equipment. Every morning we have to come here and reboot everything because every time there's and of course this is only the beginning of June. It's going to go on for months now. Every time there's a thunderclap, Newman, we have everything goes out in here. Okay, we have to reboot this and reboot that. Okay, we can handle that. But the air conditioning we can't handle. It's 75-point-some degrees in here, and I just turned it down as low as it'll go. And the guy that was in here yesterday, the jackass, with his big funnel that he was carrying around, sticking it up on the ceiling in the funnel, too. Guess what, pal? You lose, okay? Yeah, you don't know you asked for your funnel. Because supposedly they had this all fixed. And our program director, our award-winning Employee of the Month program director, says to me with a straight face yesterday, oh, well, now that they got it fixed, if it gets too cool in here, let me know and we'll see, if it gets too cool in here. Like it's 190 degrees in the shade in here now. And this is only the 2nd of frickin' June. Because it's the Beasley way. Because you cheap bastards over there in Naples, man. You people are grave robbers. We're bringing in billions and zillions and trillions of dollars here. And we're doing it with scotch tape and masking tape and with paper clips. With used paper clips. That we have to get our own water, for crying out loud, from our friend the Culligan, man. We have to get our own water up here because we got a water Nazi that rations out water on the other side of the building because you're so goddamn cheap. But when it comes to our comfort here, and I use that word loosely over the next several months, this is unacceptable. So you can have your engineer and this jackass from the air. We need to get air around the clock. We need to get them in here. That guy wasn't from there, was he? No.
I don't know.
Well, why not? Those are our friends. Those people care about us, not this guy with his funnel that thought he was impressing.
Maybe sang him a song.
Yeah, I got a song for him. It's called Coxahoy's Fast. 567-0560, pound 560 on the AT&T line. Here's a mobile in Boca. Hello.
Hello, Neil.
Yes.
I'm not in Boca anymore. I'm right by Kings Point in Del Rey.
Oh, boy. Getting older by the minute now.
Oh, God. Anyway, just want to say one thing. Oi! Did you see the latest thing in the political world? Al Gore's campaign has decided that they're taking God back. So they're not going to be out-godded by any of these right-wing lunatics.
Oh, brother.
They're going after the God crowd, and they're taking God back.
Oh, my God.
Yeah.
I know.
Great.
Unbelievable. That's all I want to say.
God bless you, sir.
See you.
567-0560, pound 560 on the AT&T wireless line. Here's Hallandale. Hello.
Hello.
Yes, sir.
Who's the Roy guy you always mention? Is that Roy Foster who used to play for the Dolphins?
Yes.
How does he know OJ? How is he such good friends with him?
He's good buddies with him. That's his best pal.
How did they?
I don't know the history of it, sir. Why don't you call him up and find out, okay? Call up Roy Foster and find out from himself, okay? I don't really know the history. All I know is I find it very distasteful. And like I said before, if you want to hang around with scumbags, that's your business, what you do outside the building, okay? But don't try to bring them inside, because we won't tolerate it. We won't sit still for it. We won't put up with it, okay? We don't care how many happy face calls you make out there in the sales department. Don't bring your scumbag friends around this joint. Even the sports nerds don't want to see that murdering son of a bitch. 567-0560, pound 560 on the AT&T line. Here's Miami. Hello.
Hey, Neil, I had a question about one of your sponsors.
Yeah.
If I call Nick's, would they mail me my free cigar?
You know what they would mail you?
What?
567-0560, pound 560 on the AT&T line as we continue searching for a real call. Here's a mobile in Loxahatchee. Hello.
Hey, Neil, how you doing today, sir?
I was doing great till about 5 minutes ago, and they pulled a plug.
It's not good when they pull the plug.
They pulled the plug, man.
When they pull it, it is not good.
You can smell it. Mm-hmm.
I called that 1-800 number, Neil, for that catalog.
Uh-huh.
And the guy was funny. He was like, yeah, all of a sudden it was all quiet, and all of a sudden we got stormed with all kinds of phone calls.
How do you? I only wish I could get as many calls as they're getting at Abercrombie & Fitch. Then I have some phone calls on here.
Here's one for you. And he goes, but a lot of them hung up when they found out they had to pay for it.
Of course. That's South Florida for you. It's the freebie crowd. Even George in there. Oh, gee, it's $12 for a year.
Oh, what the hell, $12 for $12. But it was funny. He told me everyone started hanging up when they told them you had to pay.
Yeah, make them feel better. Let them know it's from South Florida where all the schnorrers are.
Love you, Neil.
Okay, see ya. Yeah, they want the catalog. They want it for free. That's the code word in this town. Don't you people understand? They want it for free. And what they see inside the catalog, they probably want that for free too, huh? Oh! Sounds good to me. I'll guarantee you ain't getting Jeff Popowich for free. You notice how they the sports nerds, they won't touch that? They will not call in on the show and talk about that? Because it's like being outed, I mean, that whole closet football thing with guys in real tight, pants, grabbing each other's ass, taking showers together. Al Goldstein was right on target. Nice going, Al. Oh! You fatso. 21 before noon. Do we have his schedule, by the way? When is he going to be in Amsterdam again? We want to make sure we have his schedule so we don't clash. We don't collide. I want to make sure that his apartment is nice and empty when we're there.
What's this obsession with hokey?
OJ got away with murdering his woman and her white and Jewish friend. Now we hear him say he's thinking about moving to Miami where he thinks he'll blend in. Go back!
Yes.
Go back! Oh! Go back to hell where you belong. Go back! Go back! Go back to hell where you belong. Go back, OJ.
We can go to the next caller, Super Talk Radio.
Yeah, get off the air, you murdering asshole!
What'd you say to me, you what?
I killed your ass. I've been stabbing your white ass. It wouldn't be the first time I've got away with it.
Go back! Go back! Go back to hell where you belong. Go back! Go back! Go back, you murdering asshole.
I'd like to thank everybody for welcoming me to that neighborhood.
What word did you say?
Okay, it's 11:45 at 560 WQAM. We missed that ending there the first time about his girlfriend Pete Bolger. 567-0560, pound 560 on the AT&T line. Did we have one call other than that guy who was at Terminal? Did we have one call? Anybody saw the show on HBO last night about? No, juror number 5? No. They're too busy calling for the Abercrombie & Fitch catalog. And stop being so goddamn cheap, okay? $12 for a year, 4 issues. How much is it for just one? $6?
Yeah.
Well worth it at 10 times the price, okay? For all you desperate people out there, I guess they just want to buy all the cool Abercrombie & Fitch clothing, right? Isn't that it? All the stuff that's already torn up before you buy it?
Yeah. Think of all the time and work.
Yeah, look at that.
Saving.
Look at poor Jeff Popowich there, man. That thing's been ripped on and shredded, and the pants, too. The ones that are down to, like, the bottom of his...
Rectum?
Yeah. Well, you know how it is with young people today. They wear their pants low, like around their ankles. Here's Coral Springs. Hello.
Hello, Neil.
Yes, sir.
Hey, I give a shout out. I had a real bad experience. We went to the hospital last night. I just want to say how bad this healthcare system is down here.
Yes, it is.
Hello?
I'm listening.
And my girlfriend sat in the hospital waiting room for 45 minutes as she was suffering from vomiting and diarrhea from food poisoning that we had had. And I really feel sorry for anybody who ever has to go to the hospital.
What hospital was this, sir?
Right on Sample Road and 95, that North Broward Hospital.
Oh, I don't know that one.
God forbid anybody ever has to go to the emergency. Take the ambulance. You don't want to go into the waiting room.
Okay.
Can I give a shout out, please, to Jason and Joe, who's listening?
Okay.
We love your show tremendously.
Good luck, pal.
Later.
See ya. There you go. Don't go to the hospital in this town. In fact, don't go to the hospital in America because they'll kill you. You can't complain about the health care in the U.S. of A. because basically we don't have any. Like I said before, most of you doctors out there are a bunch of butchers, a bunch of murderers, which is why everywhere you go, you walk around and see the big puppet people. You should have seen, oh, my God, the plane from Dallas to Vegas last Friday. I'm going to tell you something. I mean, okay, I'm fat, but not real fat. I'm overweight. But like, 35, 40 pounds, I would look beautiful. I'd look just like Brad Pitt. But, I mean, I'm going to tell you. I have never, we just kept, the conversation just kept on forever because there was an unending supply. I'm not talking just fat people. I'm talking people with these enormous puppets. And then it dawned on me, we're going to Vegas. You know where they're going, don't you? They're going to the buffets. One thing about buffets, and I love my friends at Emerald Coast. It's a great restaurant. It's a great sponsor. They're super people. But you go in there, and I'm going to tell you, you will see at any buffet some of the fattest slobs in the history of the human race. I'm not just talking fat. I'm talking gigantic. And coming back, there's a guy, a fat guy. I forget. I guess that was from Vegas to Dallas. This guy's wearing a polo shirt. See, fat people shouldn't wear polo shirts, okay? And he is sweating up a storm. It's 7:45 in the morning, Vegas time. This guy is sweating up a storm. And he's telling some woman sitting there about he's got his big bottle of Naya water and how much water he drinks because on the plane he gets dehydrated. And I'm thinking to myself, no wonder you get dehydrated. You got a leak, mister, because it's leaking out all over your yellow polo shirt. And there's nothing like wearing a yellow shirt, too, to accentuate, like a green or a yellow shirt, to accentuate the fact you're sweating like a pig. And you know who's responsible for this, for us being fat in this country, is you doctors out there. That's who's responsible, who sit back and you let all this quackery go on, all these phony diet pills, all these scams go on, all this low-fat bull crap that lasted for 4 or 5 years until they finally unmasked what a fraud that was and how everybody keeps getting fatter and fatter and sicker and sicker. And, of course, the medical establishment here likes that because fatter and fatter and sicker means more money for them. More money for Pfizer and all the big pharmaceutical companies and more money for the doctors, who have a vested interest in keeping us as sick as they possibly can. How the hell did I get on that? Well, it's because I'm looking at the Abercrombie & Fitch catalog, and I don't look like that, and goddamn it, I should. I should look just like that. Well, we're close. Man. So let's talk about identical twins and the incestuous relationship between identical twins. Is that just a rumor? I've heard that all my life. And to see these real, I don't know so much with women. Of course, I haven't paid that much attention to it for obvious reasons, but, and how come you don't encounter as many identical twin women as you do men? Have you noticed that?
Yeah, good point.
Yeah. When's the last, other than the doublemint gum spots, when's the last time you even saw any identical twin women? Rarely. I can't think of any.
Sherry downstairs.
Yeah. Anybody
Although I
else?
haven't seen her and her twin together, but
anybody else?
I can't wait. No,
I can't think of any. But identical twin guys all over the place, and usually look real good. Why is that? I don't know any ugly identical twins.
I knew a pair of ugly identical twins.
Yeah.
One would have been enough.
Oh, the one you were telling me about?
Well, them too.
But, I guess the ones that get in the catalogs and the ones on the calendars wouldn't be the ugly ones anyway. Like Jeff and Doug Popowich. Nobody would say that they're ugly. They might say that they're naked. 5670560, pound 560 on the AT&T line, another lethargic crowd. And I'm getting lethargic, too, because it is hotter. It's hotter than a witch's rectum here. It's getting hotter by the minute. Nice job on the air conditioning, Greg. You're really doing it, baby. Get that faker back in here again with that big funnel to the sky. That guy was really doing a job, putting on a big act for us. Dog and Pony show here the other day. Hey, look, we're doing something here. Do you believe me?
No.
No. It's hotter than hell. It's hotter than Hades in here right now. What does that say, Anonymous? Hello? Hello? They're anonymous, all right. Here's Fort Lauderdale. Hello?
Neil.
Yes, sir.
Another example of the decline of Western civilization. I'm sure you probably already know this one already, courtesy of the NBA. Their all-American guy, David Robinson, who they like to put out in the forefront as squeaky clean. His education was paid by us taxpayers in excess of $140,000.
All right.
And his only obligation to us, the Americans, was to serve a few years in the Navy as an admiral. And, of course, he backed out of it. No obligation.
He backed into it?
You know, it's
those naval guys, they're always backing into something.
Yeah, I know. Just so, I mean, Roger Staubach, he did his time. A few other guys did their time. I want to know why he didn't do his time.
Okay.
All right.
And how about Latrine Spreenwell? Well, he's gonna do his time.
Pretty soon, I hope.
Okay.
All right.
567-0560, pound 560 on the 80. We're going to have to get one of those air conditioning things that the guy was talking about. Although then we had a call the other, it was last week one day, and somebody said that those things suck and they don't really work and they blow is what he said. Because this is unacceptable. It's getting hotter by the second in here. I think the thing is like a malfunction at the junction.
I'm real worried in case you get tempted to take your shirt off.
No, that will not happen.
Oh, thank God.
I'm going to go over here and look. 77.9 degrees. It's 78 degrees in here and getting warmer by the minute. It's like an oven in here.
Maybe if we stop breathing.
It's like a goddamn oven in here. And, of course, with all the Jews that work here, it makes you start thinking, you know, get a little paranoid. You know what I'm talking about?
Oh,
yeah, it's like a freaking oven in here. Greg, you dumb goy, get with it, okay? Oh, yeah, but we had the guy here yesterday. See, as soon as I see a guy running around with our chief engineer who's, he's an okay guy, but he's too busy worrying about his goddamn auto racing and not worried enough about getting stuff working in here. With his Scotch tape and safety pins that they give him, you know. Discount from the discount store. 567-0560, pound 560 on the AT&T line. Here's Pompano. Hello.
Neil.
Yes, sir.
Got a great religion story for you. I sell timeshare. I won't say who for, but and I was sitting at the table the other day with clients, and you talk to them a little bit at the beginning to kind of warm them up. So you met them. And so I said, well, what kind of things do you like to do at home? Oh, we go to church. I said, oh, that's nice, right? And then the next thing they said, we're born-again Christians. Well, I didn't ask them, but they told me, right?
Oh, of course.
I said, oh, well, that's nice.
Praise
Then they said to me, what are you? I said, what do you mean, what am I? I'm an American.
Yeah, I'm a human being.
Right.
God damn it.
I was born into the Jewish religion, but I really don't practice it.
Oi!
Yeah. And then they said, oh, well, listen, we can set your whole life straight. Right.
Oh, my
and
God.
at the table there, they start trying to convert me, right?
Jesus Christ.
Right. I said, stop. I said, I didn't come here to talk about religion. I came here to talk about timeshare.
Yeah.
If you want to talk about religion, go outside, but I ain't interested. It's
Right.
unbelievable.
Yeah.
So they're crazy. They really are. That's the end of the story.
In other words, you don't want to take a bullet for Christ?
Right.
Good luck, pal.
Okay, bye.
Zagazun. Yeah, they want to make you an offer you can't refuse, man. That's what it's all about. Oh, we can turn your life around. We can save you. You can be like Jim and Tammy Faye. 5'6", and Pat Boone, old and wrinkled, and trying to be a rock star. I'm serious. The air is not on here. It's not operating now at all. It is not on. It's 172 degrees. They got the oven stoked up. Even the steaks at Ruth's Chris don't get. I mean, I know they have high temperatures when they broil the steaks. Even those steaks don't get cooked as warm as we're getting baked in here, and we still got 2 hours and 5 minutes to go. I bet you it was 77.9. I bet you it's higher now. Watch. Not me. It's going up like 1/10 of a degree every couple of minutes. We're schwitzing over here, okay? Nice job there, the AC man, with that duck thing you had, with that stupid funnel. Why not? Let's call Channel 4 and see if Dick Funnel is still around. Remember Dick Funnel? Fennel? Maybe he knows where the funnel cards are. Oh, this is bad. This is really bad. This is much worse than it was the other day when we started with this business. And it's only, let me say it again, the 2nd of June. Rhymes with... Here's a mobile in Boca. Hello.
Yeah, Neil, how you doing?
We're smoldering.
I'm going to send my air conditioning guy over there.
Jesus Christ, this place, man, they're assholes, the people that run this place. I've never worked for such a bunch of idiots in my life.
It's broken. It's not working. It's going to be 85 there. I'm going to send my man over there.
Well, I'm not going to sit here and sweat my brains out in a goddamn 85-degree room here trying to do a radio show. And to top it all off, I happen to be one of those people that likes it cool where I work. I like it chilly. It should be like alert and awake.
It should be about 68 degrees in there.
70 would be perfect, would be heaven. I'm not asking for... another asshole. 567-0560, pound 560 on the AT&T wireless line. It's... WQAM,
about some down-home Christian fun. Throw your friends away, we'll back you all the way. Defending your right to own a gun. When you think of all the benefits you're getting, life will be sweeter when you pack your heater and carry a license to be deadly. Come on and join today. It's the American way to be a member of the NRA.
Aim for the knee, aim for the chest, and always aim for the head in case they're wearing a vest. Sharpen your skin, feel more fun. Be there to defend your right to hold a gun.
Come on and join today, and you'll be proud to say you're a member of the NRA.
Combo 2 at 560. Whoever that AC guy that was here yesterday, there's another one for you, okay? You jackass. Great job. You see, I'm sure there are a lot of people in the audience who, a few weeks ago when I adopted that when I got the born-again Geldy thing there, after I had that great conversation in the tea room with Geldy, and I adopted this whole new attitude, like, who gives a crap? And I turned my life around. I got my own religion. I said,
I don't give a shit anymore.
And it's worked like magic. But I'm sure there are a lot of people who have been wondering, how long is this going to last? And most of the things I can overlook, okay? Like the sales department don't give a crap about the accounts. The management doesn't give a crap about anybody under the sun. Nobody cares about anything here. Okay. But when it comes to sitting in a goddamn sweat box, which it's now, last time it was 78.2, I bet you right now it's higher than that. .4 and rising every second. Meaning there is no air working in here, meaning that we're going to be schwitzing. By 1 o'clock, it's going to be 85 degrees in here. By 2 o'clock, it's going to be 90. We're schwitzing over here, okay? Because we got a bunch of cheapskates operating this place who think they know something about radio. Like I said before, these are the luckiest effers I have ever seen in my life. They got that Power 96 cranking out that hoochie-coochie crap, making millions of dollars. They got that KISS picking their nose over there, making millions of dollars with no overhead, paying, except for Bob McKay's here, they're not paying a goddamn dime to anybody over there. And then this place just got through with the highest ratings in the history of the radio station, and they still won't spend a dime. Forget about promotion. Forget about support. How about just a room that, works? What a concept, okay? Oh, we're going to build state-of-the-art studios, and we can go 50,000 watts, and we can do this, and we can do that. Yeah. The only thing you can do is peddle bull. That's what you do, Greg. You're a professional bullcrap peddler, and make no mistake about it. Whew, man, it's unbelievable. I have never in my life. I thought it was me,
It's not. The heat ain't so bad as the lack of oxygen because we're not getting any ventilation.
Yeah, there's no circulation in here, so not only is it getting smoldering hot, but it's like sitting in a goddamn oven.
Stifling.
Suffocating. Unacceptable. Inexcusable.
It's real nice out in the hall, by the way.
Well, I'll go out in the goddamn hall and talk, okay? We can get the spots on. They don't give a crap about doing a show. Just get the frickin' spots on. And maybe put some of them in the ball game, even if the clients didn't buy the ball game. Stick them in there anyway. We don't care. Right?
Roy!
Yeah, we don't care. Man. Here's Coral Springs. Hello.
Hi, Neil.
Yes, sir.
I'm sorry that you're going through all that difficulty with the heat, but there's one thing that I would do if I were you. I would light up the biggest, smelliest cigars.
Excellent point. Excellent point. Give me a cigar right now.
Now, the reason for my call, I watched last night on the edge of my seat the fifth juror, which I guess no one has called you on.
No calls.
I can't believe that. Well, if there is anything that could be more despicable than the crime that OJ Simpson committed, there is such a crime. And don't get me wrong, he deserves to go to the electric chair for what he did. Yeah. But supposedly what he did was a crime of passion. Now, when you have a crime of passion, well, you get caught up in the emotions of the moment. But when you have a deliberate...
Well, what do you mean a crime of passion? Is that why he had the knife, his Ginsu knife with him and all the other good stuff?
Well, supposedly, but he was all bent out of shape and he's crazy anyway. But when you have a deliberate...
Sir, let me ask you this.
Yeah.
This business of was somebody crazy or not, like Ted Bundy, was Ted Bundy crazy?
Yes.
Now, you know as well as I did that he was crazy, but nobody in
He
this
deserves
country, sir, but nobody in American society, the way our justice system works, nobody would have said, let's spare Ted Bundy because he was crazy, okay?
No, absolutely not. Try the son of a bitch. But there is someone that is, as far as I'm concerned, more despicable than O.J. Simpson, and that is the jury of 12 in the criminal court.
And how about the grave robbing attorneys who defended him and played the race card and got him off? How about those guys?
Yeah, because what they did was deliberate, and they took their time, and they knew what they were doing. They have no excuse. I mean, what they did, and after watching that show last night, the fifth juror, well, I didn't have to watch that, but anyone in his right mind doesn't realize that this son of a bitch did it.
I haven't had one call about it today until you, sir. Nobody cares. I had everybody and their brother yesterday tell me I should watch it. It's on HBO. I go home to make sure my HBO is fired up, which it is. I watched the damn thing last night, which I didn't think it was very good. But nevertheless, there it was. And she's going on with the whole thing about he killed the effing, sliced her effing neck off, and et cetera and so on. Nobody cares. Nobody cares.
Well, I care, and you care, and I think there are good people in the country that care. It's disgusting what he did, but it's disgusting what he did is the people that got him off are even more despicable and more disgusting.
Okay.
And I hope your cigar is very good. And
I got it in my push right now. Okay, and have a great day. Okay.
They're up on the roof.
He's directing. They're up on the roof. You know something? I hope they jump. They're up on the roof. They should only jump.
The system is shut down completely, our system.
And why is that?
And whoever we share a system with.
Why is that?
Like a broken belt or some crap like that.
You know something? I'll take a broken belt and slap their goddamn with it, okay? A broken belt. Who is it that's servicing this place, okay? And God forbid, please don't tell me it's our good friend Zero Around the Clock. Which I could tell you a story, by the way, about a letter I got at home yesterday from a water place that put in my previous unit. And didn't I say how that when the Culligan people tested it, that it was very, very good? And then I gave it to my good friend who just bought a house and had it installed in his house, the one that I had before. I get a letter from the president of this company, which I thought was out of business, giving me a song and a dance, which I called him, but he never returned my call. I don't want to mention Aquafin, who heard, by 10th hand, like all these people here from listeners, by 500th hand, that I said, I got the crap out from under the sink, the old crap. The only crap I've ever talked about is the crap in the water. I never said that other system was crap. What I did say was that they were bought out by somebody else, and to the best of my knowledge, they weren't around anymore. Isn't that exactly what I said?
Uh-huh.
Yes. But this AC thing here, like I said, I've worked in places before, we all have, where the AC has gone out, and it's uncomfortable, and it's, annoying. But this is like being in a box. This is as close to being in a pine box. In fact, if you stick around another 20 or 30 minutes, I'll tell you what it's like to be dead. Without even being in the box yet.
Want me to prop your door open?
Oh, God. Prop this. 9 minutes past noon at 560, your schwitzing station for the 90s.
Oh, God, Neil.
This is Leonard Estelle with Darnell. I'll be Darnell Jackson, and today we're going to spell the word European. Spell it with me now. European. E-U-R-O-P-E-A-N. That's a big one. Now, let's use it in a sentence. So I said to the guy, hey, get away from my car, European on my tire. This is Learning to Spell with Darnell. I'll be Darnell Jackson.
Tell him I like free, George. Whatever it is, I'll take it for free. It's 12 minutes past noon. We've got our employee of the month, the program director, Pussy Galore, just opened up the door. That's our air conditioning now. We've opened up George's door. We opened up my door. Did it help at all?
No.
But at least he's running around here trying to do something. I don't see our general manager around here. Do you see him?
No.
No, I haven't seen him in a dog's age. He only comes around when he's really ill and spreading bad disease like mono and stuff like that, making everybody sick. So I kind of get sick when I see him, too. So I've done my best to keep my Geldy attitude, and I don't give a crap attitude, and I've done a great job of it until this moment. But all of a sudden, it must have been about 40 minutes ago that the thing just conked out. Because it was okay. I didn't notice one way or the other. It was reasonable. It was workable. And then all of a sudden, it just must have just crapped out because now it's now 78.4 and rising every second. Every second that you're out there listening. In fact, an office pool will be in order at lunchtime. Just go out there in the hallway, wherever you are, and take up an office pool and see, will they survive, number one, and number two, how long will it be before it gets up to 80? I bet you Ed Kaplan's got the odds on that.
Uh-huh.
Fort Lauderdale, hello.
Hey, how you doing, Neil?
Schwitzen.
Yeah, I feel you.
Just a couple of things. On that OJ Beatles parody you played about a half hour ago or so, I don't know whether you've heard it or not, or maybe I'm just imagining it. The bleep was a little bit lame.
It was a little lame, but yeah, we'll get that fixed. But there was one in there.
Yeah, no, you know.
You could hear that bleeping thing, yeah.
You try.
Yeah.
Another thing, I just want to agree.
We don't want to start speaking just in half words. We want to give the whole word out, you know.
Yeah, well, like you always say, most of the time, mother is only half a word.
Especially in Detroit, right?
I just want to agree with like everything you say about obesity and the healthcare system.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody's so busy trying to be politically correct. Oh, it's a glandular problem or this or this.
Bull
or that.
crap. It's a fat problem. It's an American problem. We're so goddamn fat that we're choking on it. We're dying on it. And the doctors in the hospitals, they love it.
I mean, they just don't want to tell, people to get off their ass and exercise.
Right.
I mean, do something about it. And,
exactly.
I mean, I myself included, I believe, I treat it like a chronic disease, like asthma or
No,
diabetes.
you're not. It is a chronic disease. You're not treating it like it is a chronic disease, and that's where the doctors in this country have fallen flat on their big fat asses because they know nothing about it. And the only thing they know to do is to give their patients speed, and if it isn't fen-phen, it's Meridia or one of these other goddamn things that are going to kill them.
Yeah,
and their rationale is, well, if they didn't die from heart disease or stroke, they might as well take the risk because if they can lose the weight, we can save their lives. That's a pile of bull crap.
Yeah.
Because when you've already got stress on your heart and you start taking fen-phen and all these other goddamn amphetamines and this crap that they're putting people on, it's a killer. They're butchering people.
Yeah, they don't, I guess people, they take the easy way out. They don't want to admit that you can't really live a normal life. You can't eat anything you want.
That's right.
If you're clinically obese, you have to be careful, just as if you're asthmatic, you don't smoke, whatever the case may be.
Right.
All right, Neil.
Good luck to you, pal.
Yeah, good luck to us all.
Okay.
Hang in there.
I got me a nice stogie. I don't have it lit, of course, because that would get them really in a frenzy around here, and I don't want to, and that's not a good idea anyway, because it'll make it only warmer in here. What do I want to do that for? See, this guy thinks that I'm going to do this out of spite. I'm going to show them. I'm going to light up a cigar. Good idea, though. But I'm not, because it's only going to be spiting myself, because it'll make it a lot hotter in here.
And harder to breathe.
And the best news of it is we got the chief engineer up on the roof. We don't have the air conditioning guy on the roof. We called him, but we got the chief up there. So that means that it's a lost cause. Not that he's not going to do his best up there,
He's pretty resourceful.
Yeah, considering what they give him to work with, which is nothing, absolutely positively nothing. But nevertheless. By the way, Hank's in New York. I bet he's nice and cool up there today. He'll be doing his show from New York. Then we got Donald Brennan from 6 o'clock to 6:30 with the baseball pregame, whatever the hell we call that, the Donald Brennan show. 6:30 we got the Cardinals and the Marlin pregame and a game at 7 o'clock tonight. Any interest at all in that Marlin thing and Big Mac? And, no, nobody cares. 567-0560, pound 560 on the Mobile One line. Here's Kendall. Hello.
Hey, Neil, how are you today? I think I know the answer to that already. It's kind of scary when you...
I'm okay. I'm just hot,
Yeah.
And when you're fat, you don't want to be hot.
Well, and your blood pressure probably goes up with the heat.
Yeah, good point.
And another thing...
And your blood sugar, too, I think.
It's kind of scary. Well, it's kind of scary when you have your chief engineer on the roof working on your air conditioner. It's bad enough that they have a hard enough time working on other things. So it's probably going to be...
That we can't keep the Hank show on the air for more than 5 minutes at a time, right?
Well, luckily I don't listen to Hank's show. There's a company here in Miami...
Hey, stupid! Yeah.
That we use when our air conditioning goes out in our building. It's called Spot Coolers of Miami. They're these blue square things.
Oh, I would kill for them right now.
Yeah.
I need a spot cooling.
Yeah.
Of my fat old body.
Yeah. So maybe you can order one and just say it was in your contract that they have to keep it at like 72
degrees. Hey, I got news for you. It's in my contract that they're supposed to provide a workable environment, sir, and they're not doing it. This is a toilet.
That's right. Don't let them get the best of you, Neil.
Okay. That's right. I'm taking back. I'm rescinding my don't give a crap attitude. I'm suspending it for at least today anyway. That's right. They're on suspension because this is. I feel like a little blow in here somewhere.
From the outside.
Is that what it is?
Although, I don't know. Maybe they got something going.
No, I feel like maybe there is something happening here. I feel like a little blowjob somewhere in the, you know what I'm saying?
Arrête de tâter.
Yeah. Do you feel anything blowing? Like I said, it's wishful thinking on my part. It's imagination. And don't let me look at that Abercrombie and Fitch catalog again and get me all sweated up. Especially Jeff Popovich and his brother Doug. You know, the one that plays for the U of M Hurricanes that runs around naked in these modeling magazines? Jeff Popovich. Good guy, by the way. Looks good to me. 567-0560, pound 560 on the Mobile One line. Here's Lake Worth. Hello. Lake Worth. Okay, nice talking to you, too. See, this is the South Florida crowd for you. I'm sitting here sweating my brains out, trying desperately to make my way through the last hour and 43 minutes, not that I'm counting. And these people like, oh, well, we hung out for 12 minutes and 25 seconds. We're not going to talk to that son of a bitch that's sweating his brains out. Don't ever expect anything from this crowd, because here's what you'll get. Nothing. Unless, of course, you want to send out a bunch of free catalogs. Oh, could we have the Abercrombie & Fitch catalog free? Well, I might. Oh, okay. Well, we like you a lot now. Yeah, you ought to see. That would get the phones going if I said, oh, we just discovered they're going to send us 20 catalogs for free. First 20 people that call, we'll send them out. But don't do it because we don't have them. In addition to which, if we did have 20 of those catalogs, I guarantee you they'd never make it out of this building. Guaranteed. Not that Joe would take one. Here's a mobile in West Palm. Hello.
Hey, Hank.
What is it, sir?
Hey, is this Neil?
Yeah.
How you doing?
Okay.
Hey, tell all those fat people just to shut off the TVs and get up.
Okay, thank you. Here's a lady in North Miami. Hello.
Hello?
Yes, ma'am.
Hi, Neil. Talking about fat people, just came back from Orlando this weekend.
Are they fat?
Oh, let me tell you something. We went to a water
They're
park.
fat in Orlando, folks.
No, everybody that comes to Orlando from all over the country, you could see who were the tourists and who were the Americans by just looking at them.
Yeah.
And the worst part is the children. I mean,
yeah, now, you know something? I'm glad you brought that up. What kind of parents let their kids get really fat? I mean, I was never fat until I moved away from home when I was about 19 years old, and I was living in Boston, and I started eating like a pig and sleeping until noon every day, and I made myself fat. But parents that have their kids living at home and little kids that are letting them just eat like pigs, and you notice that fat parents always have fat kids,
absolutely.
Not to mention any names
there
in
were
this building.
children there. There were probably 150 to 160 pounds. Wearing those little tiny Speedo bathing suits.
Oh, my God.
And the parents walking right along with us. I mean, it was the most disgusting thing I've ever seen. Any of the parks, you go there.
Well, we got a nice loud fan. We got a ceiling fan going, a floor fan here. It makes a lot of noise, but it blows.
And, I mean, it's just disgusting. I don't know. They have to go and do something.
Oh, I love it. Keep that thing going.
So, and that's it. Just want to let you know.
Thanks for the good news. They're fat in Orlando. Thanks, sweetheart. Anybody else seen any fat people lately? Fine. Oh, that's good. Keep that thing going. I'm getting a great blowjob from this fan, and I don't want to say who put it on the floor, our employee of the month. Oh, it's going into orbit. All right. Oh. It's going into orbit, baby. No, let it go. I don't care about the noise. Oh, what a machaya. Woo! I haven't had a blowjob like this since Vegas. 567-0560, pound 560 on the mobile one line. We got a fan in here. It's blowing all over the goddamn place, but it sure beats the alternative.
Courtesy of Matty Bell and John Jarrett.
Oh, thank you guys so much, okay? Man, unbelievable, this joint. And a cigar ain't that bad either. Here's a mobile in Hollywood. Hello.
Hey, Neil, how you doing?
Okay.
Just wanted to touch base on what you're talking about, this weight issue. And that one caller kind of hit it on the head. I mean, it comes down to money, like you said, and the only way for people to really lose weight the right way, diets don't work. Everyone knows about that, and it's nothing but a money-making scheme for all these pills that you take and get you all juiced up like speed. But
and you know something? The government and the local television stations all over this country obviously don't care about this because they're running more quack infomercials for more quackery every Sunday morning. I just can't get over it, and nobody lifts a finger about it.
It's true, and the only way to really lose weight is just to adjust your eating habits, your eating lifestyle. And, you know, I mean, it's a shame, but people have to hear it. You got to watch what you eat and give yourself...
What does that mean, watch what you eat? I always watch it. I look at it before I put it in my mouth.
Let me clarify that. Actually, watch what you put in your mouth.
What about food?
Okay.
Well, I got a stogie in there right now. It's not lit up, but I have a nice...
Seriously, watch what you put, swallow into your stomach. But seriously, if you know... Basically, everything in moderation. Just like people who drink alcohol. I mean, I'm a social drinker. I have a couple beers a week. But you know what?
Sir, do you have any idea how trite that is? I mean, I'm assuming you're not overweight.
No.
No, see? So it's very easy for you to, it's almost kind of it is a condescending thing. Say, just watch what you eat and be careful. And that's just trite. It doesn't mean anything.
Not really.
It doesn't mean anything. I know people who can eat 5 times the amount that I eat, and they'll never gain an ounce. And if I look at something that's fattening, I inhale the fumes, and I go home and I weigh 2 pounds more the next day on the scale.
I understand what you're saying.
So if we have the bad metabolism and the fat genes that we inherited from our fat parents, then we're going to be fat. Then we have to starve ourselves. That's what it boils down to.
Basically, it's a combination of what you eat and what you do, okay?
Yeah.
And if you can kind of cut back on the fat a little bit and give yourself maybe one day a week to go and eat some cake or whatever, ice cream, whatever you can.
Oh, yeah, that would do it for me, yeah.
I'm serious. Listen, Neil, you know it's moderation. And if these lazy people who are couch potatoes can get off their ass 3 or 4 times a week, get to the treadmill for a half hour, you'll stay in shape. And listen, this is coming from a guy who I played sports in high school and
college. But you're not overweight.
No, but I did gain weight. That's my point. When I blew my knee out wrestling, I did gain some weight. And you know what?
Wait a minute, you were a wrestler?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, Neil, whatever. I'm very secure.
I didn't say a word. I just said you were a wrestler, and you said yeah. Yeah.
Whatever. But seriously, bottom line is, it's just everything in moderation. And I know that, maybe I don't gain weight as quick as some other people out there. But you know what? I do watch what I eat. And I'm not saying I'm any gym fanatic or any kind of muscle head. But you know what? I do go to the gym a few times a week. You know why? Because I feel better.
And you don't shower at the gym, do you?
Oh, actually, I don't. Actually, I go home and shower with my girlfriend.
Good.
So.
Excellent. Okay, thank God. Okay, watch what you put in your mouth.
Take it easy.
Okay, one call left on the board, okay? This town should only rot, okay? A gigantic storm. In fact, I thought we were having it when I was coming to work this morning. I thought that was going to be the definitive one that would blow this place off the map. One call left on the board here. I finally got a little bit of air in here. I'm schwitzing. I'm on my last legs, and this audience goes into a frickin' coma. Thank you very much. As usual, 2,000 years later, thank you so much for coming to my rescue when I needed you the most. If I were drowning in the middle of the goddamn Atlantic right now, this audience, these are the people I'd be looking to throw me the goddamn life raft, Throw me the hook. 567-0560, pound 560 on the mobile one line. Is there anybody alive out there today?
No.
Anybody? Anything moving? Here's a mobile in Fort Lauderdale. Hello?
Neil.
Yes, sir. Can't hear this guy, George.
Okay, Neil, I have a song for you, Neil.
Yeah.
To lighten up your day. You ready? Neely.
Oh, good one. Great. WQAM.
Yes. You can give some information.
Can't hear you, sir. Can't hear a word you're saying.
Okay. Hello.
Yes.
If you want to lose some weight, I would suggest more water intake.
Meaning what?
Try to drink more water.
Sir, there's no way I could drink. Unless I put a hose in my mouth, there's no way I could drink more water.
You said you have a high sugar problem, or you're...
I'm diabetic, yes.
Diabetic, okay. I am a vegetarian.
Well, big deal.
Oh, I'm not pushing it. I'm not pushing it. All right.
Not interested.
Okay. If you can, though, with drinking water, 1 more cup of water before you eat.
Sir, are you listening to what I'm telling you? I have my Soleil bottled water right now. I drink more water than 90% of the people on the face of the earth. I drink enormous amounts of good quality water, and it's great. And drinking water is not my problem.
Oh, all right.
God bless you. Killed a few seconds there. 567. How did we get on this again all of a sudden? We were talking about important crap there, and all I mentioned in passing was the one guy that gave me the hospital story, and right away we got off into this fat thing again, okay? It's the American effing way. We're fat. People have got to make a lot of money off us, and so we got to be fat. We got to keep eating all this crap and being fat and getting sick and making money for the doctors. It's a vicious cycle. Being fat, staying fat, being dead. That's the American effing way. And anybody in the government here that tells you that the government cares about our health is full of crap. So all this baloney about cigarettes and everything else, just a bunch of propaganda. Just a bunch of panderers. 26 past, and here's a president, by the way, who eats at McDonald's, and he's telling us about our health. Yeah. What was that?
Sorry.
We're sorry, but we don't care, okay? It's screwed up.
And pop, comet, and pop, comet, and pop, comet. Oh! That's the place for me. Yeah. I got my brand new Nikes and I'm ready to dive. 8 boys in Jello with the rest of the guys. We're going to a spaceship that can't be seen. Our souls will be taken by a particle beam. Castration is the only thing that bothers me. You gotta sit down to pee. You know I think the poison is affecting me. It's the Hale Pop Comet for me.
Here's a fact from Bill. It says at FIU, where I go to school, there are a whole group of God Squad students who can't mind their own business. They all follow the same pattern. They walk up to you after class acting very friendly, get into a conversation. You might think this is just a person who wants to be friendly, but then the hard sell starts. They ask you to come to church with them and let Jesus into your heart. Or maybe want to take the bullet for Jesus? I always ask them a question you brought up once. Couldn't God come up with a better way for us to defecate? They act as if I'm joking, but I'm serious, so they tell me crap about original sin and Adam and Eve, etc., and so on. My response, sorry, my religion is called reason, and you have zero. And next time, mind your own business. And if Jesus was in my heart, how could it pump blood? Excellent job, Bill.
Oh!
At FIU. Well, we got the fan blowing over here on the floor. It's better than nothing. Not great, better than nothing. In fact, that should be our slogan here at QAM. Not great, but better than nothing. There you go.
Oh!
On our next billboard campaign, or when you see those TV spots on your for QAM. 5670560, pound 560 on the mobile one line. Not that I'm bitter about Wayne Hypinga, John Henry, and the fact that those of us who work our asses off to make this place tick and bring all this money in here have to have our lives mortgaged to goddamn Wayne Hypinga and John Henry with those stupid ball games. Not that I'm bitter about that, you understand? You understand?
Uh-huh.
Yeah. Because maybe if we didn't have to spend all that money for that, but then again, what am I talking about? Because even if they were making millions of dollars profit here, they still wouldn't spend a dime on any of this, would they?
No.
Because it's just not their effing way, the Beasleys. They're a bunch of cheap bastards. Just look at the way they dress. Here's Hollywood. Hello.
Hello, Neil.
Yes, sir.
How you doing?
Speak up, sir. This fan is so loud I can barely hear anything.
Oh, it's hot in there?
It's boiling.
Wow. Anyways, you read the New Times?
About what?
There was some article in about there.
About the fags? Yeah, I know
Yeah.
about it, yeah. And?
Well, I don't think that's kind of bizarre. I never knew about them like that. I didn't know they were that perverse. Reading them.
Them? In other words, a handful of people that are busy risking everybody else's lives, them?
But you hear about the crazy taking a fist. Wow, I never knew you guys could do that.
You guys? Let me ask you something, sir. Are you into anal sex? Do you like your woman to let you...
Not at all. I don't even approach it.
Good. Excellent. God bless you. Thank God for you, sir.
I'm into her hole, but not
Yeah,
her...
okay, her hole. That's with the WH, of course, he's saying. Her hole, but not that other part. Good job, pal.
Rectum.
Good. Because we found out that most of our supposedly straight people are out there are big onto...
Rectum.
Yeah. Ass. 56705, just like all these straight people going to these swing clubs, I don't want to mention any names, but I don't know, we were discussing this at the house last night about straight people that go to swing clubs watching other guys having sex. Yeah, exactly. You know what I'm saying, Tracy? Oh, well.
He wasn't watching the guys.
No, I'm sure.
So anyway.
Yes?
Just got off the phone with Abercrombie and Finch.
And?
They sure are happy to hear from us.
Meaning what?
They've been getting lots of calls. They were
How
all
come
excited.
they can get so many calls and I can't? That's what I would like to know. You people out there make me sick to my stomach. You're a bunch of pussies. You don't have the balls to speak to me, but Abercrombie and Fitch to see a bunch of hot, naked people, and I don't blame you.
And we'll be getting our free catalogs very shortly.
What, like plural? How many are they sending?
Oh, I don't know, like a
So in other
like
words,
a subscription.
actually, we had some people that spent the bucks and ordered them.
Apparently.
And believe me, you won't be disappointed. Okay, I guarantee you that. I wouldn't be surprised if the whole University of Miami... See, that's what a stiff town this is. I've told you this many, many times before. This isn't any goddamn college town, all you idiots out there with your U of M this and U of M that. It's a phantom.
Hurricane f***ing blow.
Yeah, we get more FIU and Miami-Dade people than we get... we never have anybody from U of M. No, we're not good enough for them. Bunch of blue noses over there, bunch of spoiled little rich kids, little brats that mommy and daddy are spending all kinds of money to send them to Suntan U for, pretending going to basket weaving class. Because if we really had any audience over there at U of M, when as soon as I mentioned Jeff Popowich and being here in Abercrombie and Fitch with his identical twin brother, and the two of them happen to be hotter than hell, by the way, the phone would have been ringing off the hook on that. Oh, yeah, we know Jeff. We've seen him naked, or whatever they would be saying, And if you haven't seen him naked, just get the catalog. May not be completely naked, but it's pretty goddamn close, including his...
Rectum.
Yeah. Nice going, Jeff. It takes a guy with... See, I respect a guy like that, that's got enough sense of security about himself. He'll go and do a thing like that, even though he's a football player. He doesn't give a crap. I'll guarantee he's getting paid. He's probably making more money for doing this than he is at U of M football. George. 567-0560. Well, he's a white guy, Here's Aventura. Hello.
Hey, Neil. How you doing?
Great.
Let me ask you something, Neil.
Down to 102 in here now. It's getting real comfortable now.
Do you ever exercise?
No.
So once you get off your fat ass and exercise, stop bitching about it.
Oh, okay. Thanks. Thanks for your very understanding call, you jackass. You're probably a fat slob yourself. Go look in the mirror, your own fat ass, okay? With that little twerpy voice of yours, you sound like a real geek. 567-0560, pound. In addition to which, I'm not complaining about it myself. I'm talking about America. How about all these other millions of people that are fatter than a cow, okay? And, of course, you have no Rahmanis. You don't even know what the goddamn word means, you silly person, you. No, don't stand in the doorway there and pretend that you're interested in what's going on in here. Who's that one axe murderer what's holding out there, that other sales hole we haven't seen since the day he came in the building? Oh, that's right. They sell the sports shows. I'm sorry, I forgot. They sell the important stuff. Anybody want to buy some Marlins?
No.
No. We'll pay you. You want some spots?
No.
No. Yeah, stand out there outside the door and talk a little louder now that we got the door open, okay? Get him out of there, Sam, you dumb Venezuelan. Yeah, we don't see these people the whole time. We moved up here in March, April. This is the 4 months we've been up here now. We don't see these people at all. Now they set up a standing post out there or a farting post outside our door because the door's open. How do you like that? Talk about a bunch of assholes. Yeah, it's a little hot in here, okay, you assholes? That's why the door's open. Go give a big kiss to Roy and OJ when you got some time. Here's a mobile in Aventura. Hello.
Hello, Neil.
Yes, sir.
Hi, I'm an ardent listener, and it's really a first-time caller, but I have rock wonders for you because I'm a man who was born into a Jewish background and always had food stuffed in my mouth.
To what?
Food stuffed in my mouth constantly. You know, it's one of those grandma, mother things.
Oh, yeah. S. That's how my grandmother always does. S. And then, oh, you're getting so fat. S. You know, with one hand they're pushing it to you, and with the other hand they're pushing it away.
Exactly.
That's the Jewish effing way, right.
And for all these condescending, slim bastards who've never been overweight and don't know what it is to have the problem, have physical problems, I've just gone through a gastric bypass operation. And unfortunately, this is the hard way.
Yeah.
But to all these people, and then our goddamn president who's a schmuck to begin with, to eat at McDonald's and
with fat society, I think it's about time. And thank God for people like you that have done some stuff. And
okay, well, your phone is done. I think God is playing an evil trick on both of us, but good luck to you, sir. Good luck with your bypass. What do you say, a gas pass? 567-0560, pound 560 on it. This is a joke today. I mean, this is not a radio show. This is a joke. I got this fan in here and believe me, I don't care if it makes enough noise. It sounds like the world's coming to it, and it's not going in the off position. But I can't even hear the goddamn call, which is fine. I don't care. I mean, what do they have to say anyway when you come right down to it? 22, and then we got the salespeople wandering around in the hall, standing outside the doorway here reading the newspaper. Well, what is that all about? Well, what is that all about? They're having a goddamn convention. I guess they missed the days when we were back down there on the second floor and they could all get in Lee Cutler's room next door and have a party and play grab-ass and make as much noise as they could through the paper than the papyrus walls down there. Or is it papyrus?
No matter how hard I try, can't get her to date a guy. That's just how it is. She won't touch a penis. Chastity, I'm grieving. It's so hard in believing, 'cause it's really lots of fun to date a guy who's really hung. Oh, I can't believe she's a lesbian. There must be something wrong that she's gay. I really don't know where I went wrong, no. I can't believe she's a lesbian. I really don't know where I went wrong. Maybe she heard Sonny sing our song. Oh.
Okay, it's 12:43 at 560 WQAM. Wait till I tell you what Sam told me yesterday. Now, see, like I said, if it was interesting, I would tease him with that. I was going to repeat it, but it was so disappointing and so boring, you know. If you're going to promise to tell somebody something that's like a secret, it's like a real, make it good, make it up, but not something that boring, Sam. Come on, you can do better than that. Here's Fort Lauderdale. Hello. Okay. Oh, that's right. We have seen the bumper stickers. Maybe he can't do better than that. What was that? Did you just hear that? Oh, I thought we were getting the call. It was Sam getting the call on his cell phone.
Oh!
In the doorway. Here's Boca. Hello.
Hey, Uncle Neil. How you doing today?
Okay.
So I switched on to Worst Team Monday morning real early, about 30 seconds.
Yeah.
Was that a tape show they're playing?
Yeah, they had a tape and we had a tape. It was a holiday.
It's kind of strange for a sports show, though, to be on tape. You think they could get somebody in there to do a live show in the morning?
No.
Hey, listen, when they got to bring in Bill Zimfer from Philadelphia on a phone line when Hank is out, I mean, what does that tell you? We just don't have any bodies, man. We don't have anybody.
In Vegas, have you ever eaten at the Emerald's restaurant in the MGM?
No. No.
Very good.
I never even heard of it. Where's the Emerald restaurant? I never heard of it.
It's by the shops. It's called like Emerald's Big City Fish or something like that. And
you're talking about Emerald Seafood, like Emerald Lagasse.
Yeah.
I thought you said Emerald.
No, his restaurant.
No, I saw it. I'm not big into fish anyway, and I'm even less into Emerald. You know, there's a man, I just want to punch him in the mouth every time I see him on TV. He's not a chef. He's a entertainer now. You know, he's got a
Well,
shtick.
that's true.
He's got a
Restaurant's
shtick.
outstanding, though.
Is it?
And yeah, very good. In the Palm Beach Post today, though, speaking of food, there's a good article about the low-carb diets now. It's on the accent page. I doubt you had the Palm Beach Post there.
No.
But if anybody could fax it to you, I don't have it anymore. It's a good article. Talk about most doctors, how most doctors are leaning towards a low-carb diet.
How do you like that? After all the lies about low fat, and they're finally catching on to low carbs, because like I've been telling you, everything that you potatoes and rice and pasta, it all turns to sugar.
That's exactly what they talk about. They talk about there's some good carbs and some bad carbs. There's still a little bit on that kick, but it's a good article. At least they're trying to talk about doctors going away from
Okay, I'm sure
high-carb
maybe
diet.
somebody will fax it. Thanks a lot.
Thank you.
See ya. Yeah, if anybody in Palm Beach wants to fax it, our fax number is 305-650-0190. 98. What is it? 305-650-0198. That's what I said. 567-0560, pound 560. I know it's over here somewhere, but it's behind Duff's schedule. I don't want to mess up Duff's schedule. Christ almighty, that's what he got the Employee of the Month award for. We don't want to mess that up. Every morning of my life he comes in here and wants to make sure that schedule is right so that we feel like he's doing something. Wasn't that nice? Everybody stopping in. Hey, how are you?
You can stop in anytime.
Yeah, I know. See, there you go again. Leering and lynching. We got a double standard in this building. I want everybody to know about it right now, okay? We got a double standard. All the heterosexuals that want to leer about all the attractive young women, and we have several of them in this building, by the way, that's okay. But if that fat fag gets on here at midday and leers over one person, which is the only person I ever leered over in this place, although I did say Zoltan's a good-looking guy, which kind of goofy, but he's a good-looking guy. But I wasn't leering. He has a wife, you know. But, and right away, oh, my God, we have to have a big conversation with a program director. I know what that was all about. He's not fooling me. Yeah.
Took him in his office?
Yeah. In the orifice? Here's Miami. Hello.
Hey, how you doing, Neil?
Great.
I just came back from Ohio. Froze my butt off. I did watch the HBO thing last night. Didn't it seem a little self-aggrandizing, that woman?
The whole thing was so fake, and so I mean not fake in terms of the fact part of it, but just the whole way it was staged was so poorly done. I mean, just melodramatic and all the long pauses and I mean, what was that?
She produced it and directed it.
Oh, did she?
Yes. And the other thing was,
no.
I think they misled everybody, making us think it was a juror from the criminal trial.
Right, because it was about 5 minutes into it, and I finally am thinking, hey, this is the juror from the civil trial.
And one more
Not
thing.
from the criminal trial.
I listened to Bob and Tom the whole time I was up in Ohio for a couple weeks. Hysterical. And I didn't realize how much stuff you got from them. They were really funny.
Sure.
But the only thing that surprised me, they got a girl on there. I don't know her name. But she said asshole, and they dumped her. And they said, oh, you can't say that. And I was really surprised.
Yeah.
Why would they dump her just for that word?
Because they can't say it. I don't know. Maybe some asshole tells them they can't say it.
And how do you get material from them? Does people send it to you, or because if I was up there?
Well, they have a couple of best of CDs like we do every year, and then there were a couple of bits that were sent to me. In fact, they originally sent one to our program director at IOD years ago. I forget which one it was. And then we started playing a few more of them, and they got all bent out of shape. And then once they came on in Palm Beach, and I told everybody how great they were, now they don't care anymore. So now they love me.
They had a Marge shot and Julia Roberts bit that was hysterical. If you can get a hold of it, play it.
Okay.
Later.
See ya. Yeah, Bob and Tom are great. There's a real morning show, by the way, for that jackass that called that little punk that was calling about Ron and Paul. I mean, give me a break, will you? Talk about make-believe radio. Talk about ripped-off radio. At least if I play you a Bob and Tom thing from somebody else, I'll tell you. Because I'll tell you one thing, Paul Castronova, in his life, would I ever play anything that he did?
The story that rocked Palm Beach in the world.
Just twice. What was the other one? Oh, the other was the Sammy Smith thing. Yeah. And that was weak. This one was good. This was great. I'll give you credit, Paul. This one was great. 1 in 20 years. That's not bad. 5670560. So what's happening up on the roof, by the way? We got the Drifters. Let's play it up on the roof.
On the
yeah.
roof.
Actually, the best version of that was on Columbia Records by the Crying Shames, Up on the Roof. Anybody remember that?
No.
No. But being the oldies expert that I am, the Crying Shames on Columbia Records, Up on the Roof. God, was that a great, unbelievable song. Of course, George wouldn't have liked it. It was too good. Here's a mobile in Kendall. Hello.
Hello, Neil.
Yes.
How are you?
Great.
Listen, I was calling about your health issues, and you were talking about carbohydrates, correct?
Mm-hmm.
I feel that the lack of health in our country is because the lack of knowledge of people having towards food.
And where should they be getting that knowledge from, sir?
From books, reading books.
And from their doctors, shouldn't they? Shouldn't their doctors be informing them since it has to do with our health?
Well, doctors aren't schooled, only schooled in most people don't know the difference.
Doctors are only schooled in treating disease.
Correct.
Not preventing disease, treating disease and making money and exploiting our illness.
I understand that absolutely. The point I wanted to make is most people don't understand a simple carb from a complex carb. A complex carb needs insulin to be burned. A simple carb does not.
Yeah.
So simple carbs are foods from nature, all fruits and vegetables. So if you put your diet...
That's not true. Fruits are loaded with fruit sugar. That is not true at all.
But your body runs on sugar, Neil. Your muscles run on sugar. A carbohydrate is turned into a sugar for your body to be used.
Sir, do you have any idea what a diabetic does when he eats a piece of fruit?
It sends his sugar up.
It's like injecting sugar right into your bloodstream. Your blood sugar goes skyrocketing. There are fewer things that you can eat that will send your blood sugar skyrocketing faster than like a nice banana.
Correct. You're absolutely correct.
So save the bark bag on the American Airlines.
Carb, when it needs insulin,
I'll get my own bananas.
It turns it into a sugar. And that complex carb becomes fat if it's not burned. Now, a straight sugar from nature is from fructose, which is the only natural form.
Sir, fructose is just as fattening as any other kind of sugar. You're absolutely wrong. You're another one of these guys peddling molasses and honey. Get the honey, Junior. You're wrong, okay? You don't know what you're talking about.
Chemically identical.
Sugar is sugar, okay? Another nutcase gets on a radio, just like that guy that called before, give me a song to dance just because I got a microphone on a radio show. Well, guess what, pal? It works both ways. They pay me to open up my mouth and utter a bunch of crap. These people out here with their telephones, these anonymous experts, you know the old expression, talk is cheap? Well, there's living proof of it right there. A man and why he was on that long, only because I'm sitting here schwitzing my brains out. Or he would have been gone after like the first 30 seconds. Here's Plantation. Hello. Okay, nice talking to you, too. Here's probably the chief. Here's Fort Lauderdale. Hello.
Hey, Neil.
Yes, sir.
Hey, man, I just got a serious question for you. How come you're such a whiny little bitch?
How come you're listening to the show, pal? You must like whiny little bitches, huh? Or maybe you can relate to it. Here's a mobile in Miami. Hello.
Hey, Neil.
Yes, sir.
I was calling about that Bullet for Christ thing earlier.
Uh-huh.
I was just curious, like what would you do, like, if somebody, like, put a gun to you and said, you know, do you believe in God or do you believe in Jesus, or, like, what would you do, like, if somebody...
Meaning what? I would tell them the truth. No, I don't. What does that have to do with the pulling a bullet to your head?
No, I mean, I was just curious, like, what would you do? Would you, say anything, like, to avoid getting shot, or...
Meaning, what does that mean? Would you say anything to get avoid? How does she know what to say to avoid getting shot? How does she know what the answer was he was looking for? Was she a mind reader? Was she a psychic? You're dealing with a crazy person.
Well, at least, I don't know. I mean, at least she's not a satanic faggot, you know?
Yeah, okay, great. Thanks. Thanks for the good news. 567-0560, pound 560 on the mobile one line. Boy, they're all out there today. Thanks for listening to 560 QAM, by the way.
And maybe Mr. Fructose wants to stop calling back.
Oh, he's calling back and bugging you because I didn't want to listen to any more of his misinformation.
Yeah, he wants to tell me his point so that I can explain it to you.
George isn't interested, okay, because he knows you're full of crap just like I know it and the whole audience knows it. We're not interested, okay? Go eat some fructose. Go shove it up your rectum. Get out of our face with your misinformation. That's our name for this guy, misinformation. You don't know what you're talking about. You're a jackass. 567-0560, pound. And even if you weren't a jackass, you're still boring as dog crap, okay? Get off my show and stop bugging George. Here's Tallahassee. Hello.
Hey, Neil, how's it going?
Okay, sir.
Listen to your show online 'cause I'm up in school at Florida State. Just want to say I love your show. And also have a favor. You think you could play an old one for me?
I'll work on it.
It's still women's golf to me.
LPGA.
Yeah, can you play that?
You got it, pal.
Thanks a lot. And tell that fructose douchebag stop calling.
Tell him to stick it in his
rectum.
Okay.
That's right. Love
See
you.
ya. Hang in there.
Bye.
Okay, there's a young man from Tallahassee from FSNU, baby. See, when we get calls, like I've always told you, from out of town, although we did have, hi, Jason, how you doing? Get out of here. Although we had the exception yesterday. Remember the guy from Laguna Beach, California? He was an asshole. So every now and then we get a real clunker from out of town. But generally speaking, when they take the time and the money to call on their dime from out of town, they might have a little bit of something to say, or at least an IQ bigger than their thumbnail. But when they're from Dayton, Broward, and Palm Beach, and like the environs down here, oh, baby. I mean, you talk about Russian roulette. And they're listening to the show, but they got every caustic thing. I'm this, I'm Satan, I'm evil, I'm faggot. Yeah, and what's the point? You enjoying the show? So quit bitching. Here's a mobile in Miramar. Hello.
Hey, bring back little Tommy Denenberg. He's me.
Here's a mobile in Lauderdale Lakes. Hello.
Hey, Neil, how's it going today?
Okay.
Listen, I really, really respect your knowledge as a hockey person. You're very knowledgeable, okay?
Mm-hmm.
And I know you can't stand Dennis Potvin as a person, but what did you think of him as a player?
He was a great player. I mean, what difference does it make what I think? He's a Hall of Famer.
Okay, I just wanted to know.
He's one of the greatest defensemen ever to play, but he's an asshole and he doesn't know what he's talking about. And he's a dullard.
Okay, but I just wanted to know what your opinion was as a hockey player.
It's like asking me, what's my opinion of Mario Lemieux? I mean, what is the debate? He was a great player. I'll say it for the third time, and have a nice day. And give Dennis a big kiss for us. 567-0560, pound 560 on the mobile one line. Like it takes an expert to know the answer to that question. And guess what? As for where Dennis is concerned, he's an asshole. Still. Here's a mobile in Kendall. Hello.
Hey, Neil, how you doing?
Okay.
I got an interesting Nazi Miami story for you. I'm a mobile vendor. I sell things out of my van, legal business. I don't have any markings on the side of my van.
Yeah, you already called and told us the same story like a few days ago, okay? Remember that guy? The same story with the same van and no markings on the side of his car. Now we got people calling and telling us the same stories again. Nice going, sir. Just don't do it again like I told you the first time. Save everybody the time and the boredom. Just don't do it again. Just go market. Just go market. Well, that movie was on, by the way, last night. I forgot to tape it right after that boring HBO thing. It was on HBO. Boogie Nights.
Good movie.
Which I never saw, and it'll be on again.
Good movie.
Now that I rediscovered that I do have HBO.
Not a great movie, but just good.
But big. 3 minutes before 1 at 560 WQM.
Oh, boy. It's the 1 to 2 hour.
Yo, I'm a nigger, you're a nigger, he's a nigger, she's a nigger, we're all nigger booze.
Oh!
I'm a nigger, you're a nigger, he's a nigger, she's a nigger, we're all nigger booze.
Yes.
That's a word for greeting friends like all black people do. But whiteys want to say it too so they can sound real cool. I'm a nigger, you're a nigger, he's a nigger, she's a nigger, we're all nigger booze. Now the bigots have to find another word to use. It used to be real bad, but now it seems okay when African Americans address themselves that way. I'm a nigger, you're a nigger, he's a nigger, she's a nigger, we're all nigger booze. No longer the vernacular for racial abuse. It used to be taboo, a nasty thing to say, but now it's bandied all about by black folks every day.
Yo.
I'm a nigger, you're a nigger, he's a nigger, she's a nigger, we're all nigger booze. I'm a nigger, you're a nigger, he's a nigger, she's a nigger, we're all nigger booze. Six and Watts and Mix and Kikes, you're all included too. It really doesn't matter now, cause everyone is now a screw. Yo. Check it out. I be Grandmaster Spook. I be swishing my thing, playing with my record. I be swishing it. I got rhythm. Start dancing, bitch. Put the lotion in the basket.
By the way, speaking of that, I noticed they put the casket in the ocean. You see that, the JFK casket? Which makes a lot of sense. But hey, that's a long, long time ago, and are we ever going to know the truth about that? So
no.
What's the point? It's 2 minutes after 1 at 560 WQAM. See, couldn't we all be like, have a lot of faith, and couldn't we be all good people and judging each other and calling each other names and all this other stuff, like all the good religious folks? Oh, yeah. Well, you don't believe the same thing. Therefore, you're bad, you're inferior, and you're going to burn in hell. And let's see. Let's pick on the Protestants picking on the Catholics because they're too hung up with the Virgin Mary. And the Jews, of course, they don't believe in Jesus. And on it goes. It's all a bunch of crap, and it's all equals hate. Religion equals hate, boys and girls.
Heretic, blasphemer,
right, exactly. There you go. Yes, good person. 567-0560, pound 560 on the AT&T wireless line. That's probably why it's hotter than Hades in here today. This is just a warm-up, so to speak, Neil. Unless you get the message, okay? Here's North Bay Village. Hello.
Hi, Neil.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, I have Rachmanis on you, Neil, because I totally understand where you're coming from. I'm here with my grandma right now. Let's fresh, the S.
Yeah.
She always but I'm in really...
And then every fifth week she'll tell you how fat you're getting.
No, but I'm in really good shape, and I used to be chubby.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't want to get chubby, and she doesn't understand. So now I've learned to actually go into a restaurant, and I can just sit there and watch her eat.
Yeah, overeating is a very common form of Jewish neurosis.
Oh, I know, right, Grandma? Aston. Anyway, Neil, but that's not what I call it. The other day, because you're always talking about fish food and all this and that, I went into Baskin Robbins.
Yeah, hey, Grandma, are you listening?
Don't take any bullshit from him.
Okay,
Grandma, you know what Neil says? Don't take any bullshit from him.
Yeah.
There you go. Uncle Neil.
Yeah, I'm listening.
I went into Baskin Robbins, and they have this stuff called gold medal ribbons.
Mm-hmm.
So I start talking to the lady, and she knows you from the one and owns the 167th Street one. And she says, oh, he's always talking about fish food on the air, but he loves us here and this and that. You ever try gold medal ribbon?
I know what that is. Yeah, it's good.
Oh, awesome. I mean, you're going to laugh, but I'm a chocolate yogurt person, just a straight chocolate yogurt person, because, it keeps me, in better shape.
Keeps
but,
you hard,
my God, I ate a pint of that gold medal ribbon. I would have eaten 3 quarts of it yesterday.
Mm-hmm.
Delicious. All right, just wanted to say hi.
Okay, have a great day,
Take
pal.
care.
Say hi to my buddies at Baskin Robbins.
Oh, I will.
Tell them I might be driving through there tomorrow.
All right, I'll
okay.
tell them.
See ya.
All
Not likely. I hope not. I better not. 567-0560, pound 560 on the AT&T wireless line. That guy with his fructose, boy, that just frost my ass. What?
5 times he called back.
5 times he called you back to hock the same thing, like he can't accept the fact that he's finished and I gave him way too much time in the first place, especially in light of the fact he didn't know his ass from my elbow.
He's not understanding my point.
I don't care what his point is. It's all the same. Fructose and sucrose and glucose, it's all sugar, okay? Get the honey, Junior. It'll send my blood sugar skyrocketing. So get out of here with all your brilliant advice. And he's giving me a song that ends about fruit. I know my fruit, mister, okay? Believe me. I'll guarantee you I've seen more bananas in the last 6 months than you'll see in your lifetime. I know my fruit. Some of them peeled, some of them not. Here's a mobile in Fort Lauderdale. Hello.
Hey, Neil.
Yes, sir.
2 things. My family used to be in a bakery business, and they specialized in, diabetic pastries. And they used to put fructose in it and all that, and obviously it really didn't have any effect on all the diabetics that would go there.
That's not true. That's another scam. In other words, your parents, they were in a fakery, quackery business.
Listen, no one died from it.
That you know of, yeah.
Yeah, I know, too. Did you ever find anybody who ever ate out of those bistro bags?
No.
From yesterday?
No, we found some Delta people. I don't think the barf store bag.
I did. It's disgusting. Mass-produced chicken sandwiches, dried fruit, fat-free potato chips.
Yeah.
Disgusting. Thanks, Neil.
Okay, thanks for the good news. Maybe, in fact, I wouldn't be surprised if they start putting in the potato chips with Olester pretty soon. Just as a little joke on the passengers back there in coach. And don't be coming up to use our first-class toilets either, by the way. There's nothing that frosts my ass worse than these peasants from coach who are standing, dancing from one leg back to the other, waiting at the coach restroom way in the back of the plane, and they think they're going to come up and use the first-class toilet. Get out of here, okay? We paid $80 billion to fly in first class. Go back and use the pee-on toilet. Go back and pee on it. Who was that? That him again?
Faggot.
Oh, that one. That faggot?
I think it's a different faggot.
Oh.
They love you.
Oh, of course, but don't you understand? They have to say that. It makes them feel better about the fact that they listen to the show and they love every minute of it. Don't you understand? It's part of their staying in the closet routine. 567-0560, pound 560 on the AT&T line. We got 6,000 open calls. And you know something? The thing that I mentioned this morning about the girl on there coming up with this line about she took a bullet for Christ, that line right there, if this was any kind of a town with people that had anything to say about anything, I should have never even had to give the phone number out. I should never have had to give a phone number out. Once I quoted that thing, and I'm sure that other people saw it too on the CBS Morning News this morning, talking about the girl out there, the new martyr that they made out of the poor girl that got blown away in Colorado. She took a bullet for Christ. One of the most unbelievable things ever said in the history of the human race. And this audience has got nothing to say about it.
Happy Purim!
I'm singing this song and I'm feeling kind of sad. I got my smile from Mom, but my cheer came from my dad. I've got a body like a driving range mat. When it's cold outside, use my nips to hang your hat. I can blow in your ear, give you a lap dance, but you won't notice me till I get some implants. I need a guy who ain't got issues, like feeling up a chest and finding tissues. Guys say I'm cute, they say I'm pretty. I'm not one who needs your pity. I've got a nice ass and fur like a kissy, but I can't get 'em in, 'cause I got no titties.
Got no titties.
The Wonder Bra is something I can't afford. When you lay on me, you'll swear you're on a diving board. When I turned 11, I started to get pubes. Now I'm 24 and still waiting on my boobs. Guys say I'm cute, they say I'm pretty. I'm not one who needs your pity. I've got a nice ass and fur like a kissy, but I can't get 'em in, 'cause I've got no titties.
Got no titties.
I've got no titties.
Itty bitty.
I've got no titties.
Itty bitty.
No titties.
Oh, you know, I almost forgot for our good friend up at the FSU. There's no Bulldogs up there, I'll guarantee you. Except on the ladies' golf team. And
What's the matter with lesbian golfers? Can't you tell we really love hitting balls?
Yes.
The only thing that separates us from the men is the country club's bathroom stalls. I got my girlfriend who's also my caddy. She's the brown, I'm the butch, she calls me daddy. Muff dive at 5, tuna taco, alright, it's still lady golf to me. My favorite hole that doesn't have any number, a green or a fairway. Don't sweat me 'cause I'm a snapper, lapper. I play golf and I'm gay. I missed my tee time, got caught in the clubhouse. Lesbian golf is the only kind we dug out. I'm gay, let's play LPGA. Still ladies golf to me. In right is disgrace, chicks sit on my face. Still ladies golf to me.
All right. 114 at 560 WQAM. We got the Hank Goldberg Show from New York. Hank's covering the Belmont up there, of course, this weekend. We got Donald B. and talking baseball 6 o'clock tonight. Donald Brennan, I'm sorry. 6:30 the pregame show. Marlins and the Cardinals tonight. Any
No.
567-0560, pound 560 on the AT&T line. Here's a mobile in Miami. Hello.
Hey, Neil, how you doing?
Okay, sir.
I got Rachmanis. You know, you go to a Passover dinner, and by the time the main entree's there, after you had the matzo ball soup and all the crap, you're full. You can't eat no more.
Yeah.
Right?
And
the OJ thing last night. The best part of that was that lady at the end coming up to him and saying, "Oh, OJ, I never shaken hands with a murderer before."
And he oh, thank you very much. He's so stupid. He's got a big smile on his face. I guess he thought she was going to kiss his ass.
I thought she was going to pull out a gun.
It was unbelievable.
You know, how sad is it that this son of a bitch is walking the earth?
Right. He's going out playing golf every day, and we got people down here think it's a big joke.
I mean, people forget how brutal.
I don't forget.
It's so sad that this system, that this SOB Roy's buddy's walking around.
Roy. Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah, we're supposed to bring this coke addict double murderer in here and welcome him with open arms. You know,
right.
Make him part of our family.
And she's sucking some duck on the couch there with her, and he's getting all pissed off on the phone. You heard that call, right?
Yes, I did.
Yeah. Have a good one.
And back to you. 567-0560, pound 560 on the AT&T wireless line. Here's Oakland Park. Hello.
Yeah, Neil.
Yes, sir.
How you doing?
Okay.
On this girl with this gun, what do these people think this is? Some kind of multiple choice or something? She can, she can make a decision with this guy holding a gun at her.
Yeah, they're running around the schools, blowing people's brains out. He shoots her in the leg first. She's down there on hovering, praying, hoping like hell she can save her life. Praying would have been the right term too, no doubt, because she was one of the God Squad. And evidently God wasn't listening. He must have had his hearing aid tuned off at the moment because he asked her a stupid question like that.
Yeah.
You believe in God? She said, yes. Well, maybe you can be with him now, and that's it.
First of all, stop me if I'm wrong. If a guy opens a closet up with a gun and he asks you a question, you got a 50-50 chance you're going to be wrong, correct?
Yeah.
Okay, now, seeing as how there's a couple dead people all wandering around the hallway, now you're down to 30. Correct me now. Stop me if I'm wrong. Now, the barrel of the gun's smoking. Aren't you down to about 10%?
But forget about that. But what about this line? She gave her life for Christ. She took a bullet for Christ. What kind of a line is that? She took a bullet for Christ? What kind of a lunatic? What kind of insanity? What kind of brainwashing has some little girl been subjected to spew out a line like that? She took a bullet for Christ.
Listen, Neil, this guy keeps calling you for this bridge tender song. Why don't you just play it for this asshole?
Yeah, okay. 567-0560, pound 560 on the AT&T wireless line. Here's a mobile in Miami. Hello.
Hey, Neil, how you doing?
Okay.
I don't know if you saw Monday night on Dateline with the girl who almost drowned when she was 3, and they've got her on life support, and the mother took her home. Now all the statues and all the paintings are dripping oil.
Yeah, that's the message. That's an old story, right?
Oh, is it old? Yeah.
Yeah, and they're all stopping to see her, yeah.
Well, they're parading people through left and right, thousands of people. She's taking on all the injuries and diseases of other people. Right. I've never seen so many lunatics in one setting. I mean, they're throwing bishops in there, and they can't figure it out.
That's the American fucking way.
You know, they did a test on the oil, and it was 75% olive oil, and they must be up
maybe
at
she's
night.
Italian.
You know, I got 2 sons. If God forbid anything happened to them, I can't stand when the people come on. This is nothing new. It's God's will, and God wanted them.
Crazy people.
What kind of? I'd go crazy if I lost my sons. And you think I'd be saying God wanted them and that type of crap? I mean, this is insanity with people. See, we've had this, as you know, shoved down our throats, and I was one of them all my life, growing up with my shoved down my throat. I hate the Catholic religion. I hate it. I despise it. I won't have my sons make any of these communions and all this bull crap. You know, this we've just been indoctrinated, and it's the easy way out. And I'm agnostic. I can't stand it, and I'm just so sick of being. We're just force-fed this in every way, which way we turn in life. You know. It's the answer for everything. It's bull. It's bull. We've got to stop this insanity.
Okay, God bless you, sir. Calm down. 5-6, look at that phone, man. They're really smoking. I'll tell you one thing. If we had one real call for every asshole caller we had today, we'd have been flooded with real calls. But we weren't. They're really in a smoking mode today, man. They must be smoking the good stuff. 567, even the guy before with his bridge tender crap tries a new technique today, pretends he actually has something to say, and then he starts the song and dance with the bridge tender. I feel really bad for the fact that there are so many lifeless people in this town. I mean, not just having no life, but not even a hope of ever having a life. That's the saddest part. And we hear from them on a daily basis. 567-0560, pound 560 on the AT&T line. Here's Cooper City. Hello. Okay, great talking to you, too. Here's a mobile in Coral Springs. Hello, our last call.
Hey, Neil, how you doing?
Okay, sir.
I got some Rocky Moaners for you, boy.
Some what?
I got some Rocky Moaners. That's redneck for Rock Monas.
Oh, Rocky Moaners, uh-huh.
Yeah, anyway, I don't know how old you are, Neil, but I'm 47. I grew up in a Jewish household, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. A good part of my life, I was heavy, to say the least. And I just want you to know, if you were willing to work for a half hour a day, you could make yourself look and feel so much better.
Where is this coming from, sir? I never came on here today and said anything about losing weight. Some guy called about the health care, and I was talking about all the fat people I saw on the plane going to Vegas.
Okay,
this is terminal.
I heard that earlier. And it ain't that hard. That's all I want to tell you, Neil, because if I can do it...
Sir, it is that hard. It absolutely, positively is that hard.
Well, if you
especially when you're addicted to sugar. You know, there are people like you that come on, and I'm glad you had your success, and talk, you know, talk is cheap, okay? But an addiction to sugar is it's worse than alcohol. It's worse than drugs.
Well, but the thing is that if you get yourself to the point where you're working out on a regular basis,
you're not listening to anything that I'm saying.
You can eat anything you want.
No, you can't do that. Not when you're diabetic, sir. You can't eat anything that you want. Please, spare me the pain, okay? Spare me this tremendous pain. All the experts out there, just like, you know, you pick the topic, and we got a million incident experts who have no idea what they're talking about. 22 past 1, there's not a call on this board. This is only the 2nd of June. What did I tell you yesterday? Not only is it going to be a long and hot summer outside, it's going to be long and hot on the inside because they're not making any progress up on the roof, evidently, with or without the crying shames or the drifters. Maybe we got a few drifters up on the roof. 567-0560. We got any real callers out there this last 40 minutes? We're waiting. Pound 560 on the AT&T wireless line. I'm waiting. And I'll sit here. Let's see. We got 4 minutes till a break. I'll wait very quietly. I'll lean back here into the floor fan, get a little air. It's amazing to me how easily everybody's an expert. Oh, yeah, it's real easy. If you're just willing to do this and get on that treadmill. Right. Everything's easy. Everything's simple. Like I said, talk is cheap, especially when you have no idea what you're talking about, which the public out there, of course, are experts at. What are we doing? Are we doing any of these people, or are we just putting them on hold? What are we... Hello? Hello? Yes, sir.
Yes, I wanted to find out. I have a bad phone connection.
I hear you. Okay, good one. Here's another one, anonymous. Hello. Okay. WQAM.
Hey, Neil.
Yes, sir.
How you doing, man?
Okay.
I just moved here from Los Angeles. I've been here about 6 months.
Uh-huh.
How do you do it? You've been here, 20 years?
23 years I've been on the air here, sir, and what you hear today, this is what I go through virtually every day of my life.
It's unbelievable.
I could have been a contender, sir, if I got out of this godforsaken town, but now I'm trapped.
I got to get out of here.
Yeah.
All right, man. Good day.
Good luck to you, pal. You'll need it. Don't unpack. That's all I can tell you. Don't unpack. This is the armpit of the universe. What you hear is a mirror image of what this place is all about. 567-0560, pound 560 on the AT. You pick the topic. They don't know from it. They don't understand it. They got nothing to say about it. But we do have the guy with his fructose out there. Don't forget about him, the fructose guy. Here's a mobile in Miami. Hello. Mobile in Miami. Mobile in Fort Lauderdale. Hello.
Neil.
Yes, sir.
How you doing, sir?
Okay.
Long time no talk to.
Uh-huh.
Hey, about this girl taking the bullet for Jesus Christ.
Yes.
Now, it seems to me, well, maybe she didn't know what to say. You know, maybe she didn't know whether she was religious or she should say no or yes. Maybe
well, mister, what difference does it make? It was a crazy kid that blew her away. What difference does it make what she said?
You're absolutely right.
He doesn't know what he didn't conduct a goddamn seminar with her. It wasn't a questionnaire. He just shot her in the leg, and he walked up to her, and she's laying there cowering, fearing for her life. And he says, "Do you believe in God?" And she says, "Yes, I do." And he says, "Now maybe you can be with him." And he blew her crap away. Okay. Well, this isn't some kind of a big convoluted religious thing here. We're talking crazy kids shooting people.
Right, but they're using her as an example.
They're using her. They're making a martyr out of her. And like the minister said on that same story this morning, they're getting sucked in by the hype, and they're missing the terrible story, the loss of this young girl.
You know what I wanted to ask you?
Unbelievable. It's pathetic.
What I wanted to ask you is, I got someone in my family who believes in God and all that stuff.
Yeah.
There's always one question you always ask, and I think what it was that always stumps them, and they can't answer it. I'm dying to remember what that phrase was that you always ask them when they believe in it. You said, answer one question.
Yeah.
What was that question? I can't remember.
If there was a God, how could I be here doing this show every day with this audience? That's the question. What is it?
I wanted a napkin.
Oh. You want napkins with lunch, too? And you're eating McDonald's, just like the president?
Yeah.
You know what they put on their fries in Amsterdam, by the way? 567-0560 pound. Well, the only reason I thought of that is because Amsterdam's the only place where I eat at McDonald's because the food there is so bad. But other than that, I mean, any country that, thinks John Travolta is an actor, what does that tell you? There's no hope. I mean, it's just lost, How about taking a bullet for John Travolta?
I like peace and quiet, and I don't need to listen to Barney Frank haranguing in my ear because I made a few bucks off a book I worked on.
I thought Christianity was fairy tale. This religion thing was not for me. They held a big convention. They let me in for free. I had no idea what I was about to see. Oh! They were speaking in tongues. That made me a believer. It was kind of fun to stick it out of my mouth. Speak in tongues. They got me believing my tongue is weaving from side to side. The Lord will now embrace me. I clap my tongue to the beat. Now, whatever I do, He'll forgive me.
Oh!
Cause now I speak in tongues. That makes me a believer. And I'm having fun. Playing around with my mouth. Now I speak in tongues.
132 at 560, but if you have not a good deal to have that door open, we don't have a choice today, but it's not a good idea, because some of these Power 96 flunkies are walking by who don't even know that there's a radio station here looking like, oh, gee, what's that? What's that in there? Oh, that must be the AM, Yeah. So anyway, thanks to whoever faxed this to me from Palm Beach, from the Palm Beach Post today, because we don't get that paper over here naturally. Low fat versus low carb. America's fatter than ever. Should we pass the bacon and blame the bad carbs instead? Let me just read a couple of short things. Very quick, 30 seconds. Some experts now believe the nation's rush to reduce fat has made us fatter and sicker than ever. Obesity has risen by 50% since the push to cut fat from America's diet took off 20 years ago. While we skipped the eggs and cheese, we gorged on low-fat yogurt and lean microwave dinners, and we gorged a lot. Fat-free pretzels, cookies, cakes, pasta. If it was low-fat, there was no limit, no matter the number of calories or the number of carbohydrates. You have to ask yourself, says Dr. Lee Fisher, a West Palm Beach family physician, when they take out the fat, they don't replace it with air. They replace it with carbohydrates, sugar. It's those carb calories, some experts think, that are packing on the pounds, that are making you fat and making you sick. I just mentioned it in passing, okay? 567-0560, pound 560 on the AT&T line as we continue in our 19th hour today of our 25-hour marathon. Sure feels like it. Here's a mobile in Miami. Hello.
Hello, Neil.
Yes, sir.
Yes, Neil, I heard on a previous show of yours you were talking about your diabetes and how it was useless to take your pills in the morning because it didn't make any difference. You had to wait till like mid-morning?
Correct.
I'm diabetic also. I'm on glucophage and glucontrol, and they recently put me on this, I guess, this Novolin or Humulin or whatever, insulin injection.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm finding that it doesn't have any effect either. They say keep giving yourself 2 more units a day until your numbers are like below 140.
Yeah.
But are you on injections yet yourself?
No. Well, what do you mean yet? No, I'm not on yet, and I'm not going to be on, no.
Well, that's good, because that means you are watching your diet.
No, I'm not, but you need to find another doctor is what you need. That's it. I mean, I can't believe that what is your sugar when you get up? Are you taking your own blood sugar?
Yeah, I do, every single morning. My numbers are, like today, they were like 224.
Jesus
and I'm
Christ.
taking 20 units of insulin plus the glucontrol and glucophyde.
You need
That's what I'm saying.
Sir, I'm begging you, find another doctor. Trust me.
Something's definitely wrong.
What?
I think something's definitely wrong. Something ain't working. I'm telling you.
But I get the feeling you're not listening to me. It's you're I mean, do you want to go blind? Do you want to lose your legs? I don't want to scare you, sir, but I will anyway. Find yourself another doctor, please. I'm begging you.
You got a name for me?
Well, I mean, you're up there in I don't know any doctors. Where are you?
Well, I live in Coral Springs. I go to a guy on Broward Boulevard.
Yeah. Well,
I don't know.
give him a Dr. Mark's number, okay? Give him Dr. Mark's number off there. Hang on a second.
I appreciate it. Thank you.
I mean, maybe he don't want to go all the way over the beach. Maybe Dr. Mark can give him a number or something like that. But this guy, he's on line, whatever he's on, 6. I can't believe it. This guy he's taken insulin shots and glucophage and glucotrol, and he gets up in the morning and his blood sugar is 224? Oh, my God. Here's a mobile in Coral Springs. Hello.
Good afternoon, Neil.
Yes, sir.
A story comes to mind. When my son was around 11, he had a friend who had a very religious Christian family, came from a Christian family.
Did he take a bullet for Christ?
Close to it. He was telling my son, we're Jewish, but not religious. That's my heritage. But he was telling my son, God will protect me. It doesn't matter as long as I pray. And my son said, well, what do you mean? He says, watch. He says, give me a couple of seconds. I'm going to pray to God, and then I want you to hit me. So my son gave him a couple of seconds, and this kid did it, and he hit him. And about 10 minutes later, the kid woke up and said, I guess I didn't pray hard enough.
Right.
So, it's just the way the parents bring them up and all, and just unbelievable. Anyhow, have a good day.
Zagazun. Okay, there you go. Just put your hands together and pray, okay? Because, Lord, even though he just don't seem to be intervening, he's not answering very often. Maybe his line is busy, okay? He's got a lot of people trying to get through, which we don't. 567-0560, pound 560 on the AT&T wireless line.
No sé si ir al baño o darle cuerda a mi reloj.
What would you do if I had normal boobs? Would you still run out and buy my CD?
No!
Do you get along when I screech out a song? Decide how much I sing? Oh, key.
Yes.
I'ma get by with implants in my breast. I get guys with implants in my breast. I don't have to try with implants in my breast.
Did you audition for anybody?
I only had to pull my panties down.
Are they pleased with your body?
Yeah, not to mention where I put my nose.
Can you succeed by just spreading your light?
Yes, it doesn't matter if it's a girl or a guy.
How low will you be, sweet and just 17?
Well, at least until I'm out of rehab at 35. I get by with implants in my breast. I get guys with implants in my breast. I don't have to try with implants in my breast.
Have you pleased your backstage mommy?
Yes.
She lives through me vicariously.
Don't need for the money.
Well, in this business, that's the most important thing. I might get by with implants in my breast.
Okay. One more, come on. One more. Thank you. Okay, 143 at 560 WQAM. 567-0560, pound 560 on the AT&T line. That air conditioning working yet?
No.
No. Air conditioning people here yet?
No.
They up on the roof?
No.
Anything going on?
No.
Oh, there he is. Thank God for you, sir. Get with it. Get busy. Oh, thanks for showing up at the end of my show, too, by the way. Well, at least Hank will be cool. Of course, he's up in New York, so he'll be cool anyway. At least Donald Brennan might be cool. Here's Miami. Hello. Of course, he works for a whole half hour. Hello.
Hello.
Yes, sir.
Hey, how you doing, Neil?
Okay.
Yes, I was listening to your show, and my question to you, back to what you guys was talking about the girl that got shot, and people say she got shot for Christ, right?
Yes.
My question to you, if you were held at gunpoint, somebody asked you the same question, what would you have said?
I would have said, don't shoot. That's what I would have said.
That's it, right? That's
What?
it, right?
Yeah.
Because, you know what, a lot of times in life, everything happens for a reason. So, you know...
So in other words, you're saying that she got shot for a reason, and you really believe that?
You damn Skippy. I believe that she got shot for Christ.
She got shot for Christ.
Right.
You know something, sir? If that's what you believe, if that's what your religion is based on, that some young girl in the prime of her life has to get blown away because Jesus wants another blood sacrifice, then you ought to get some mental help, sir. You need a psychiatrist immediately. And God save this country from crazy people like you. Who the hell ever heard a comment like that? She got shot for Christ. Jesus wants your blood, baby. I mean, it's one thing with his blood sacrifice bullcrap. That's not bad enough. Now it's Jesus. I mean, what are they worrying about video games and movies for? Because this is what Jesus wants anyway. If you listen to these crazy people, he wants your blood. Take a bullet for Jesus. I'm telling you, that's going to be the new next year. This year we got Choose Life. Next year on the Florida license plate, it's going to say, take a bullet for Christ. Maybe in the...
rectum.
Yeah, that too. How do you like that? We're talking to crazy people here today. I mean, I heard that thing this morning. I saw that little girl. She's like 14, 15 years old on there. Right there on my TV set in my big 62-inch Sony, looking me in the face, and she says, oh, she took a bullet for Christ. And I wrote it down. I was so shocked that I actually heard this swill, this crap, this caca coming through my TV speakers. And I come in here and I'm talking about my amazement and outrage. And what am I getting? Oh, well, you know, everything happens for a reason. Maybe Jesus wanted her, yeah. So all you believers out there, you better watch it because Jesus wants your blood. Maybe Jesus is a goddamn vampire. You ever think about that?
Uh-huh.
Yeah. Maybe he's a bloodsucker. Or maybe, well, he wore those funny sandals, you know. Yeah. I said bloodsucker.
There's no fact in the church.
Right. Crazy people. Oh, yeah, take a bullet for Christ. I mean, are you people, are you that brainwashed? Are you that desperately in need of a brain? Here's Hollywood. Hello.
Yeah, Neil.
Yes, sir.
Hey, my name is Ariel. Listen, I was just going to tell you a story. I went to a Christian school, and it's not really the followers who are the bad people. It's the leaders. This guy was a pastor. He talked about adultery, and then it ends up that he committed adultery.
Yeah.
He's a dirtbag. Anyways, Neil, the twins say hello.
Okay.
He's nuts.
Whatever he said. What is he talking about? Do we have any idea? No. Oh, identical twins. Maybe he's an identical twin. Like I said, they're all doing each other. 567. We never had one call on that, did we?
No.
No, not one single call on the identical twin thing I mentioned before. Because no matter what you bring up, and it's a very interesting thing. Everybody's all whipped up into a frenzy about cloning. And like I told you, there's been cloning going on by nature for a long time. There's lots of identical twins running around on the loose. That's cloning. They're still different people. Here's Deerfield Beach. Hello.
Yeah, you know, Britney Spears has a set of twins there.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, where was God when my...
But are they real? And Minnesota's got some twins, too.
And this is true.
And we can't draw flies.
Where was God when my Islanders were getting eliminated from the playoffs?
Exactly.
Again.
That should prove it to you right there.
That's what I'm saying.
Where was God when the Leaf defense missed a bus?
I have to agree. All right, thank you. In closing, Mark, you're a douchebag.
Okay.
Thank you.
567-0560, pound 560 on the AT&T wireless line. She took a bullet for Christ. And we've got people calling defending that. I want to say something to my dark-complected friends out there, those 5 or 10 that I have left. I mean, this is the biggest con job, you know, as a substitute for equality and a substitute for an education and as a substitute for a whole lot of things. The church thing was a great, like throwing somebody a bone. Here's something phony that you can sink your teeth into. Just, get on your knees and pray and do it real enthusiastically, you know, because you got that rhythm, you know, and do all that bull crap, that evangelical bull crap. Get on your knees and do it. And the prayer, too. And some of you got to, use a little bit of a brain and realize that it's a scam. It's a lie. It's not a substitute for a real life, okay? Not a substitute for having a brain and using it. Whatever it was, I didn't hear it.
Tender.
Oh, yeah, okay. 567-0560, pound 560. Well, the fan is going so loud in the back, it's a miracle I can hear anything. In fact, I feel like we're on the fan. Where's Imus? Here's a mobile in Fort Lauderdale. Hello.
Oh, hey, Neil.
Yes, sir.
Hey, I think that these people are like a bunch of brainwashed people that just follow what everybody says, and I don't think that the shooting had anything to do with Christ or any of that crap that people want to.
The shooting had to do with a couple of crazy kids who have no respect for human life. That's what it had to do with. It had nothing to do with religion. And if it did have anything to do with religion, then God help us if that's the kind of God and Jesus there is.
Exactly. I don't know what the hell is wrong with these kids the past few years shooting in all these schools and crap, but something's got to happen soon. Can't keep up like this.
Okay, good luck to us, sir.
Thanks.
God bless you. Get on your knees. 567-0560, pound 560 on the AT&T wireless line. Here's a mobile in Homestead. Hello.
Hey, Neil, what's up? If I was in that same situation, I would have said, if you believe in God, I would have said, hell no. I would have said, long live Marilyn Manson or something like that, you know. Crazy kids like that don't believe in God.
Yeah.
And I would say, hell no. But twins, the triplets and Playboy, they're identical.
You what?
those twins in Playboy. They're identical twins.
Okay, thank you. Whatever you just said. Okay, he said no and whatever. 567-0560. Wow. Man, I'm telling you. That big storm that we had yesterday and the one again this morning, I guarantee you, I knew it's getting close to the end of the year. I don't want you to panic or anything like that. But where the end days are near, you can almost count them, can't you? You can almost smell them. Here's Mobile in Deerfield. Hello.
Neil.
Yes, sir.
Hey, listen, you seem like a nice guy and all, but why are you so wrapped up with all this religion garbage? Why don't you just let the people, leave them alone?
Oh, yeah, I think you may have it backwards, sir. The religious nuts don't want to leave the rest of us alone. That's the problem. You can believe whatever crap you want, but don't try to impose it on everybody else.
I'm not trying to impose it on anyone. I don't hear anyone calling you. Can I say something real quick?
I'm listening.
Okay. I don't hear anyone calling you preaching their Jesus and this and that. Why don't you just leave the people alone and have anything else to talk about? You have nothing else to bitch about?
All the time. Then why do you listen to the show if that's all I talk about?
No, I never said I had a problem with the show. I just want to hear something else.
Then if you don't have a problem, now, sir, listen to what you just told me.
Yeah,
you don't have a problem with the show, but you want to hear something else. In other words, you want to tell me what to talk about.
I'm not asking you what to talk about.
I talked this morning. Sir, can I say something now?
Yes, go ahead.
I talked this morning about the OJ thing that was on TV last night, okay?
Correct.
Did I get any response to that?
Well, listen, you're obviously a very intelligent person.
Sir, are you going to have a conversation or not? You're telling me that's all I talk about. That was one of several things I mentioned that I saw in the last 24 hours was that girl on TV this morning who made that statement. I mentioned that along with about 30 other things I've talked about today, and yet for some reason that disturbs you.
Okay.
And I got news for you, sir. Since I'm the one person that's got the balls to talk about this stuff on the air in this God-overrun country, I'm going to keep talking about it.
Okay, that's great, but don't calm down. We're just talking here.
No, we're not just talking. You're telling me what I should talk about.
No, absolutely. Why are you yelling at me? We're just
because you don't make any sense. Because on the one hand, you say you have no problem with the show, and on the other hand, you don't like my talking about this.
I like
and
the
you're
show,
telling me. And then what do you like about the show, sir?
I like the humor in it, but I don't want to hear a religion every time I turn on the radio. Why don't you talk about how OJ's ridiculous son of a bitch? What about that? Huh? OJ's, ridiculous son of a bitch.
Turn it up louder. Come on, turn it up louder, pal. Turn it up a little louder. And hear the sound of your own voice. Yeah, he's squeezing himself right now. He's squeezing it real tight. He stopped the circulation. That's how tight he's squeezing it. Why don't didn't I just ask him that? That I brought up the OJ thing at the beginning? That's the number one thing I had on my menu today since I wasted 50 minutes of my life last night. Did I have a response?
No.
No. In fact, do I have a response on almost anything I ever talk about?
No.
So I'll talk about whatever I feel like talking about. And if I see something ridiculous, like a little girl on TV saying she took a bullet for Jesus, you bet your sweet ass I'm going to talk about it. And you make absolutely no sense. You sound like a moron to me, sir, who's not capable of having a conversation. You're a double talker. Ba, 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 ba. And like I said before, talk is cheap, except on this show. On this end. 74-2 at 560. And now this thing is, the fan actually worked fine. Thank you very much for the fan, Maddie, and whoever else.
John Jarvis.
Oh, yeah, exactly, John